Everything's fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
You smell
Let's
toast?
go.
You're fine? All right. All right, here we go. Okay. It starts in... Oh, Kyle, I guess I'm giving it to you, and then you're going to have the fun with whoever's on the spot to do the tell what happened last time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's quiet. Let's fix that. 3, 2, 1. Hello, one and all. Welcome back to There Will Be Dungeons. We're going to play D&D today, and we're glad to have you back with us. If you are hearing this live, that means you heard and remembered about our change of date. Today is Saturday, and we're going to start doing the show on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. That'll be a change for good for until it isn't. So someone asked in the chat if it was permanent. It's permanent for now. So yes, Saturdays is our new day. Important programming note, though. Next weekend, we will not be here for various reasons, one of which John will be getting ready to have a baby, and that'll be happening by the time you hear from us again. He'll have had one. Well, he won't. His wife will, but he'll be able to join in with her as she has given birth to this child. And then there's lots of BlizzCon stuff next week, BlizzCon line, all that. A lot of us are tied up and busy with that, so crazy weekend next week, not here. But the weekend after that, we are. And again, the new date and time is Saturdays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Mountain. That's 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, let's get to some D&D, and let's throw it over to Kyle, who will help us understand what happened last time on There Will Be Dungeons.
Last time on There Will Be Dungeons, we traveled a whole month through the game. We did a bunch of side quests, grew our name in the town of Atemer, and eventually earned the privilege to be upgraded from the Wood Delver League to the Bronze Adventuring class. You are now able to work full-time at the guild. Cassius has set you up with a new quest, which you selected last time, which is the Skull Keep. You're off to investigate a certain infestation at an old castle some 6 hours out of town. Since we last met, there were a couple of purchases and whatnot, most of them pretty mundane, but last episode we did do quite a bit of shopping. John's character, has picked up a forgery kit, some ball bearings, 2 small bells, a piece of chalk, and some string. Good stuff for a rogue to have out there. Otherwise, we begin as we enter the Adventuring Guild. Now, what would be our third day, normally, if we were still Wood Leagues, but is just a Sunday morning. You have arrived, and Cassius has informed you that he is going to give you a brief introduction into the Bronze class. He sits you all down at a table, and you await his arrival. Now, last time we did a little bit of history. Of course, you guys don't know your various backstories, as you weren't there with each other as you went home, as you participated in the priesthood, the clergy at the Temple of Palor. But we did spend a little bit of time in our montage laughing and hanging out. Do you guys share any of your personal stories with each other, or do you sit quietly, perhaps talking chit-chat over breakfast?
I would never assume that anyone wants to hear of my spiritual goings on at the temple, so I would just sort of be sitting there, back straight, waiting for someone to make small talk.
Cool.
No. Ko would probably keep to himself unless the conversation veered that way, but otherwise just maintain a friendly demeanor and hang out with his peers.
Grinkeeper?
Grinkeeper's going to excitedly be talking about this flame skull and how cool she thinks it's going to be and how many there might be there. How many do you think they could kill? Do you think they're going to be traps? Maybe more things to translate? She just keeps talking.
Naturally. The usual potatoes requested are delivered outwards. And Cassius arrives holding 3 small new booklets for you all, which I will drop a PDF here in the Discord for you.
Oh, nice.
Has very much a lot of the same information, but of course this is the adventuring edition of the Dungeon Guild Guide, written by Min Maximus, with foreword by Impossible Diamonds. Cassius picks up the book, holds it aloft, and says, "Congratulations. I shall now read the foreword and do my best to give the energy of which Impossible Diamonds would deliver this. To all adventurers. Only 1 in 4 delvers make it to the adventuring class. You will find yourself now among the elite. Those willing to do what they must do to keep this world safe. If profit is your goal, then you may find it here, but only those with true heart will advance to become true heroes. Until now, you may have saved a farmstead, a shop, perhaps a town. These threats pale in comparison to what awaits you. The true lifeblood of the adventurer is the city. We protect those innocents, those unable to fight, those who depend upon us. They need you most of all. But the city is also your greatest enemy, your greatest critic. They know only fear. They look to you for guidance when darkness surrounds them. In this guide, we have compiled the best adventuring practices from guilds throughout the kingdom. Never forget you are a servant of the people. Inflated egos are most likely to burst. A fragile mind, most likely to break. Find your resolve and push beyond. The world needs you. Signed, Platinum Hero, Impossible Diamonds. You will, of course, note in this booklet the updated adventuring tier list, which will give you an idea of what sort of threats you may engage out there and be safe with, as well as best practices compiled by Impossible Diamonds. There you'll find in the table of contents, such as planning your adventuring day, or such things as emergency guide to horseback riding and other beasts, or reading dangerous ancient languages. If you have any questions about your orientation here into the Adventurers League, well, feel free to ask. I am also here to gift you with this, and he pulls from his vest pocket a small brass key. This key is the key to the library. You may research and use our facilities before you head out each day. We encourage you to do so, for knowledge is one of your best weapons. Here you are. And he places a single key on the table for you all to share.
Ko will reach out, take the key.
Excellent. I see we have found our inventory man. Any questions among the group today?
None that pop into head.
Very good. I'm glad your head is not popped, Mr. Spanderbelt. We shall be awaiting you. It is a 6-hour ride. It is a bit of an interesting go today for you all. One Alexandre Vanderbilt Mikkels awaits you. He will be riding to the keep and attending to his property and making sure things go as best as planned. As I mentioned, we do have one failed adventuring party that already undertook this quest, so expect Mr. Alexandre Vanderbuck Mikkels to be a little impatient about regaining his estates.
Wait, Mikkels, as in the farm Mikkels?
Excuse me, I've made an error. Withers.
There you go.
Withers is the keep. Mikkels is a farm, correct. Sorry for the surprise. Aegis will still be driving the cart, though you will be riding in style today, so be sure to put on your best manners for one Alexandra Vanderbuck Withers. If you would like to use the library before leaving, of course, we are aware that there is a flame skull at your location, and research may serve you well. However, of course, this is a 6-hour ride, and our client is rather impatient.
Is that safe for him?
For who now?
Withers, to come with us to an infested keep with something that's on fire, I think.
I assure you that Alexandre Vanderbuck Withers will be at a safe distance during your operation.
Okay, because we're not being paid to babysit this guy.
This is not an escort quest, no. Have no concern. He should be safely under the guard of Aegis during your operation.
Cool.
But this man, he is aware of our coming. He knows we are coming.
Oh yes, he awaits for you, actually. He's upstairs. in one of our rooms.
Okay.
Are we
Please don't-
allowed to check out books from the library, or is it only for reading while we are in there?
The Bronze League is not allowed to check out books. They can, of course, read at their leisure inside. We have attendants to make sure no books go missing as well, Mr. Coe, if that ends up being your goal.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Excellent. Well, please do visit our acquisitions. We do have 2 items for you today. And Cassius heads out.
All right.
I think it would be good if I started researching this flame skull before we left. While you handle acquisitions, why don't I go give a look and see what I can learn?
Awesome.
Sounds good.
And then
And I'll go with her.
Alright, I'll head to the library, see what I can learn about flame skull.
Flame Skull.
Yeah. That's cool.
All right. So the library is located upstairs. You going up the stairs in the guild, you would turn to the right, and that would head you towards the various rooms where adventurers can stay for the night. To the left are a number of conference rooms where sometimes meetings are had, strategy, even war planning takes place. And then in the middle is a double door to the library. However, it has been locked to this point. You approach, use your key, and the door unlocks. There doesn't seem to be anything magical or anything about this door that is particularly unmundane. Upon entering, you see a well-fitted but rather small single-room library. Immediately, you are hit by the smell of all those old books and dusty tomes. The shelves all go about up to your chest, not rising all the way to the ceiling, unless, of course, they're along the walls, in which they scout the entire way. And there is a ladder on one of those bars that you could push around. There's a small desk in the back where you see Carrie Underworld, the tiefling artificer, currently working over a book. Now, mechanically, for your knowledge, you can spend a number of hours here and automatically get to a DC on your roll of +5. So to explain that better, you have an intelligence of +1. Therefore, if you automatically spent 1 hour researching, you can automatically get to a 5 roll. Otherwise, you can roll on top of that to see if you could research better. And each hour might increase the chance of that roll being higher. But of course, you have a mission to get to today.
I think I would start by approaching Carrie Underworld and greeting her and just, hello,
Oh.
good to see you again.
Oh.
Sorry,
Oh.
I did not mean to startle you.
I was in the zone. I was in the zone. This is good. This is good. This is treaties on turrets, flame, and lightning.
That sounds like a fantastic read.
It's an excellent trap system, all magical, of course, so very hard to install, very expensive. Probably won't run into anything like that here. Can I help you with something?
Carrie, right?
Yes.
I remember you. I told them, I said you did a very good job identifying the magical item for me
Oh,
and handing it out.
well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm hoping that one day, I can work my way up to the maybe acquisitions, maybe, I've got goals.
Well, if you want, I could use your expertise one more time. I am looking for information about a particular type of enemy, a flame skull, and it is my first time in the library. Could you point me in the correct direction?
Oh, I'd be happy to give you a tour. And she proceeds to give you a rather long-winded tour. Basically, each section is divided up by the type of skill you might use to inspect it. There's an arcane section, a history section, a nature section, a religion section, and a section on survival. She eventually, after some 15-20 minutes, leads you back over to the arcane section, where you would be looking for a flame skull. And now, of course, there's nothing magical about, most of these books. Do be careful, of course, and don't rip out any pages. They might get a little mad. But depending on what you need, you find the correct section, and it may take multiple books to deduce what you need. Of course, these aren't strictly adventuring tomes, but we have compiled them because of their information.
All right, well, my friends are not looking for me, so I will assume that I have time. I will begin a investigation to see if I can find the correct bit of information or pertinent information.
Roll an Arcana in this section.
A4.
A4? Cool. Well, you have an intelligence of 1, so that is canceled out, but you roll a 5.
Great.
With a with a 5, you learn a little bit about the Flame Skull. Written in so many fancy words, divided up, much like you're trying to put together a school paper and deduce it down to the important information. You note that the Flame Skull is able to fly, has magical resistances, is also resistant to lightning, necrotic, and piercing. It is not vulnerable to any damage types. And its normal attack is it shoots 2 fire rays out of its eyeballs, or what's left of its eyeballs, its eye sockets. There is also a scribbled note you find in the corner of the book, written by an unknown hand. And it says, "Beware fireball, 1 per day."
All right.
Meanwhile, out at the acquisitions desk, Helenar Clearstone greets you. Oh, congratulations, adventurers. You have made it far. I have here today for you a simple task, or seemingly simple. And she once again brings up 2 vials, 2 jars, 2 glass containers of holy water. Now, the Flame Skull is never defeated unless properly banished with holy water after it is defeated. Upon the remains, you must sprinkle 1 entire jar, or it will regenerate within a single hour. Please be careful.
Got it.
Okay. You are keeping this. You take it. I'll make sure she takes it.
Cool. Thank you. I will try and protect these as long as I can.
What else you have to give?
That's it, Mr. Splendorbelt.
No, you have no extras. No other cool things to take.
This is your supplies for the day.
Okay. He's kind of boring. I take it though, and we'll take it.
What? It's to banish the dark spirits of the Flame Skull. This is extremely important, Mr. Splendorbelt.
Yes.
I could give you incense if it made you feel better, but it wouldn't do a thing.
Actually, yes. Give me some. Give me this. Give me this incense.
I will find the incense here, and she digs around.
Make up for all lost candles I don't have anymore.
All right. I mean, if it... Well, and she pulls up a big bundle of sticks. You see some little lavenders in there, all wrapped around with a string. Oh, there you go. I mean, no charge, because it is but sticks. But hey, if it makes you feel better, a cleric may make use of such things.
Ignore that roll. Sorry.
A 14 on inspecting the incense. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, did not mean to do that. All right, I will stuff that in my splendor belt and stand there like I'm waiting for instructions.
The technical name of your belt.
Of my belt.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You stand around for a good 15 minutes and still haven't heard from Ko. He went upstairs to the library.
Perhaps we should check on Ko and see what is going on in library.
It's a good idea. I'm ready to get going. And Evelyn Greenkeeper starts jumping up and down.
He seems like type that could get stuck in books for days.
Oh, you're right.
We have no time for him to do this. We must get him. So then we'll go wherever do we know where the library is?
Yep, right up the stairs at the top through the double doors. You approach, and of course it is locked. How would Splendorbelt and Grinkeeper deal with a locked door?
I would probably bang on it. To try to say, door is locked. Open door to library. Anybody, doesn't matter. And I'll just yell it.
Ko, you hear this commotion through the library door. What is nice and quiet inside?
I've finished my research at this time.
Yep, thanks to Carry Underworld, you made speedy work and got out of there with your 5 rule.
All right, I would stand up, give another nod and thanks of appreciation to Carrie, and go over and open the door.
There stands a Fist of Splendor belt ready to pound again, standing next to a Grinkeeper.
You have what
How'd
you
it go?
need. We need to go.
It went amazing. Very good. And I will, as we walk, just start recounting everything I know.
Cool. We have to pour holy water once it's dead on its body or else it regenerates. So we have 2 things of holy water.
That's good information to know because that was not in the book.
He says. Let's see. 9. Yeah. With your passive investigations and insights, you all believe, Ko, that he read everything there was to read.
Okay.
As you turn around to head down the stairs, Cassius awaits at the bottom. And he says, Everyone! Ron's adventurers head out for their first day. We now give your badges. Please turn in your wooden discs. And he starts a little applause.
Grinkeeper's gonna pull out her warhammer and start raising it up and down and up and down.
There's a couple of adventurers hanging around the guild, and they join in the applause. It's kind of more of a happy birthday situation at Chili's, but people join in. There's one who doesn't clap, and that would be Belsunish. She is over at the bar, and she looks a little disgruntled about the whole thing. However, you reach the bottom of the stairs with your fanfares and pumping your warhammers. You hand over your numbered wooden discs, and you receive a kite shield. Small, about 6 inches long. Pretty decent size. It's going to go over your chest there. And it has on it the guild insignia of the Chimera.
Wait, Chimera. That's not the 3-headed dog. What is it?
No, that's Cerberus, but very much the 3-headed. This particular Chimera, of which there are many, the Guild Chimera, as seen at the front of your Dungeon Guild guide, has a goat head, a lion head, and a sort of serpent dragon head.
There he is, yep. Okay, cool.
Does it have the same numbers that the wood badge had on it?
These ones have no numbers on them.
There you go, Chad. You can
Fancy.
see
Not
that thing.
just the number in it.
By the way, drawn, I think you drew this, right?
Yeah?
Kyle drew this. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? Darkest Dungeon looking badass thing.
Little wood press Chimera there.
I love it.
He gives a bow to you after he passes over the badges. Not the deepest bow, but enough to, symbolize his respect to you, and motions you towards the door. You head outside, and there is a full coach waiting for you. With the double doors, the reddish wood, a little step to get up, and Aegis is there, and he opens the door for you. Well, congratulations, adventurers. I have here, I'm taking one, Rogue, undeclared secondary class. Pretty mysterious there, Mr. Ko. Come on in.
Give a nod and climb aboard.
Excellent. We got Evelyn, a Grinkeeper. Declared as a... Oh, you haven't declared your secondary specialization. What have you selected there, Missy?
To kick butt! And then
All right.
she'll raise her hammer up again and climb in.
Devotion of kicking butt. I like it. Very mysterious group we got here. And of course, Mr. Splendor Belt. The bird thief, as I remember him.
That's what you say, and I'd give him a tight little bow and then get inside.
As you climb up inside, you see the two chairs facing each other that make up this coach, this wagon. There's nice curtains on the walls. There's a small candle burning inside, along with a set of tea that is setting on a middle table. He just walks around where the double doors are, and just with his massive horse body being the counterweight, just kind of leans his human half in and starts managing the snacks and the tea. Across from you sits a rather portly man with a large mustache that hangs down past his chin. He has white hair with bits and speckles of red in it. His cheeks are sort of rosy. He looks a little toasted this morning as he sits there with a goblet in his fine velvets.
Ah, the adventurers. A pleasure to meet you. I am Alexander Vanderbilt Withers, and I'm the owner of what has been known as Skull Keep for some time. It is, in fact, the Enzo Keep, of which was a resort and vacation location for the Withers family many years ago. Please be seated. We have a long ride. We are... And he drinks from his goblet. On our way. And pats himself clean.
Right. Good luck back here. He just closes the door. You hear some various leather straps being adjusted as he chains himself in, and the cart heads out.
Now, I am delighted to have several adventurers here for this day. Our previous bronze group went missing some 2 weeks ago. You will, of course, find the payment to be sufficient, though I do have a special request. You are being compensated the 350 gold pieces for this adventurer by the guild, and I have paid in full my deposit there. You will also find that I am a generous Withers, and will give up to 500 additional gold pieces each, should the antiques of the keep be left intact after your adventure. There are many fine dressers, bedstands, wood carvings, tapestries that I would like to procure and own after this acquisition. Please do be careful inside the keep that these items are not damaged, or I will take it from the bonus 500 I offer each of you.
Well, that is extremely generous.
I'm a generous Withers.
Yes, that's what I said. Very generous. We will do our best to ensure that it is well taken care of.
Excellent. I'm delighted to have such proficient Bronze Leaguers in my employ this day. Aegis and I shall await you at the guest house once we arrive on location. It is located across from the keep, a safe distance from any sort of magical maladies. I have one more word of warning, of which we have gathered over the years. This keep has been sitting still for some 130 years, undisturbed, until I, of course, with my great business sense, have decided to procure it once again from the depths of the undead hold. Do be careful and avoid any contact with mirrors inside. They might be enchanted. Reports say that it can be rather unnerving.
Wait, you said mirrors?
Mirrors. Fanciful antique mirrors worth many a gold piece. Please do not destroy them, though I encourage you to not stare into their depths, lest you go mad.
Grinkeeper will take a long, loud slurp of her tea.
Let us enjoy our tea and crumpets, for our ride is long, and I am weary from travel.
And you head out. You head out north out of town, riding past the Crypt of Cord, up past the woods, past the lake, and into a mountainous area, a mountain pass of sorts. This is a 6-hour journey. Mr. Alexandre Vanderbuck Withers passes out at about 2 hours in, after regaling you with tales of his many acquisitions, marketing employs, and something about a goose that you don't quite remember because he was quite drunk at the time. Do you all talk amongst yourselves, get anything done? For instance, we have the supplies to make additional holy water. Grinkeeper purchased that on a previous adventure. We also have a number of new objects that we collected this morning, including our enchanted items that we bought on the previous montage episode. Splendor Belt, you also picked up this morning your faces, your mace faces.
Right.
Your left and right, which
Right.
were pretty well done. You know, a good likeness.
Good. I was wondering if I was going to be happy with those or not. I probably would make some vials of holy water, given where we're going.
Well, it does take supplies, of which 25 gold pieces of reagents were required.
Oh, I guess I don't have
Grinkeeper-
that stuff. Yeah, I can't bring that stuff with, or I didn't bring that stuff with me, so never mind. I'm thinking I've got some of that, but I don't in my bag. I don't have anything. I have incense.
Grinkeeper, that you do have incense, in which
Yeah.
you could burn at any time you choose. It's Dungeons and Dragons, after
That's right.
all. Not some survival game where you mix incense and apple juice, and that unlocks whatever the
A
hell.
portal to the
Yeah.
next realm.
You know, Silent Hill, baby. It's a weird place.
Yep.
That making holy water requires that 25 gold of materials plus any of your spells per day as sort of magical energy that you place into it. Otherwise, you have those 2 vials of holy water with you during the journey.
Gotcha.
We did research pretty fast, so we headed out around 10 a.m. and we arrive on location around 4 in the afternoon. I'm going to drop the link to the map in the Discord here.
There it is.
So as you round up through this mountainous pass, you come across a great lake. And there is a rocky outcropping, a stone spire of sorts, sitting in the middle of this lake, some 25, 30 feet off the coast. And built upon this spire is the Enzo Keep, the Skull Keep as it's known. It towers up some 60 feet from the base where the rock begins, where a bridge crosses the water over to this isolated keep in the water. It spans up some 300 feet beyond that, with a tower being the highest point. And even now, as the sun is going into 4 in the afternoon, approaching 5, the sun is starting to pass through the trees in this mountainous region, get over those mountains and those spires. And you can see circling around the top of that tower a green light. And out in front of it are these orange-yellow projections, like 2 flashlights. This green object, this green burning something, spins around the top of the keep with apparently no goal in mind.
That might be it, guys.
The flame skull.
Yeah.
The coach pulls up right by the road near this great big gatehouse and bridge that crosses over to the keep proper and comes to a stop. As it stops, Alexandra Vanderbuck Withers awakens. Oh, we're here. Excellent. I wish you luck, adventurers, on your journey. We will be here in the morning to pick you up. If there is some sort of emergency, up that road there where we will be turning is the guest house. Though I hope you report back, if early. Good news. Good luck now. Aegis, please show them out. Aegis opens the door, lets you out, and the coach drives off. It was not wet.
Oh, dries. Like, was it clicking in my head? The wet cart dries off.
So you are now standing where you are on the map. You're in front of the gatehouse that is part of this bridge expanding out to the spire in the middle of this lake. There are many different roles we could do here, but it is Dungeons and Dragons, so I leave it up to you, experienced adventurers, how you proceed.
Grinkeeper will look at everyone and go, "Are we ready? We need to do anything before we go?"
We check for trap. I do not trust bridge over water. Water is bad. So I'd like to see if I can't see any traps. I have no special skills in this regard, but...
I'll assist in that endeavor.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Cool. We can make perceptions or investigations to look for these traps.
I'll do...
I will do perception.
Same. My perception.
Let's roll.
All right, let's roll.
A 19 for Co.
All right, let me give mine a shot. Sorry. Trying something new on the stream here. Here we go. A 3. A natural 1. Excellent.
Splendorbelt is taken by the beauty and majesty of this wonderful keep. Is also distracted by a red-breasted burbler
Great.
that flies by.
Great.
Grinkeeper will pat him on the back and go, "It is beautiful, isn't it?"
But very distracting, these birds. I need to focus. Focus.
Ko, you start inching your way onto the bridge and don't see any sort of serious workings of war. There was no murder holes, no arrow slits. In fact, with your background in a manor and higher class life, this is immediately looking like a castle made for the rich. There are some defenses, like there are battlements up on the walls, but otherwise, this is a resort.
It seems to me this is just a bridge. This is their lodgings, and not really designed to keep intruders out. If we are going up against the undead, I don't think they are the type to set up ambush traps around the place. I think we should be alert, but maybe not concerned in that regard.
Awesome. And Grinkeeper will start going.
Grinkeeper begins advancing across the bridge. There is a spiral-like path that leads from this gatehouse, from this bridge, up and around the spire, and you can assume that the entrance is going to be in the back. So you will fully go around the building first, up this uphill path. So in front of you would be where the rock is at its sheerest and its highest in comparison to the path that'll carry you around the building.
I will fall in line behind Grinkeeper.
I'll
Cool.
I'll fall behind him.
Grinkeeper proudly, with no assumed stealth, I'm sure.
Absolutely none.
Perfect. Makes your way up the causeway, this path leading around the keep to the main entrance. And as you do, you note a little bit of overgrowth. There are bushes and old vines that have made their way up, planted along this pathway that seem a little out of place, but for the most part, it seems decently maintained. Sand and erosion and rocks have also tumbled from the walls of the keep, and some stones seem to have fallen as well. But ultimately, the keep still seems rather pristine. Grinkeeper leads you up and around without incident, and you reach the front gate that's going to take you through these walls. There is a large wooden door ahead of you, and it appears to be still excellently stained and maintained. There is some weathered reliefs on it that you can't quite make out with just a basic look at it, but otherwise, nice door.
Grinkeeper will go to open it with like a two-handed on each side of the door push.
Sure, they're gonna Aragorn that biz.
Yeah.
All right. So you push the doors proudly open and they and bang against the walls. Some chains on the other side rattle, and this loud noise carries across our little lake here, echoing around the spires and peaks in the distance. Just like that, yeah. That's the good stuff. Allow me to reveal some things.
Whoa. Very revealing.
So you find yourself staring in at the courtyard, the inside of this keep. And the first thing that strikes you is how excellently manicured it all is. There are bushes still in very nice geometric bush shapes. The trees are expertly pruned. There is, to your right, an old stable, which has seen some better days, but ultimately is still in good repair, and even the shingles on top still there after some 130 years, as mentioned by Alexandre Vanderbilt Withers. And to the left, you see a long hallway building. At immediate look, you would guess this is perhaps the barracks. Going past those two buildings, you see to the left and right stairs leading up onto the keep walls, a well in the back right corner, some more bushes, a beautiful array of flowers in front of the keep door, and directly in front of you is that keep door, a great big metal piece, and upon it is carved all sorts of creatures, many of which you don't recognize from this distance.
I would think that this place would be in some state of disrepair if it had been abandoned for as long as it claims to have been. I'm wondering who is doing the upkeep.
Yeah. That seems weird. And Grinkeeper will not quickly, but step with determination into the castle.
Ko, with your passive perception of 16, as Grinkeeper goes to exit this gatehouse, this entryway through the walls, you see that the flaming object up in the sky, small as it may be, has stopped moving.
I would kind of put a hand out, stop her, motion up. The object up there definitely is aware of us. Be careful.
Grinkeeper will nod. A thank you and a let's do this kind of a nod.
How you know
Keep going
this?
for
How
it.
you know it is aware of us?
It has stopped moving.
So what if cow in field stops moving? It means it sees me?
Yes, that is exactly what that is.
I think he's guessing. But it's okay. We should be cautious no matter what.
Do we proceed with any sort of rules in mind, or just proceed with this knowledge intact?
A Grinkeeper will want to get to the center, and then she'll cast Divine Sense to see if she can pick up on anything that's not... She can only sense things that are not behind full cover.
Okay, cool. Let's take a look at that. Divine Sense. As an action, you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn. Go away. Oh, I'm stuck in window limbo. Okay. You can sense anything affected to hollow spell, including the location of celestial fiends and undead within 60 feet that are not behind total cover. Perfect. So you proceed out into the center. Oh, were you going to say something?
Ko is gonna step out as well, not follow immediately behind her, hang back a little bit, and he's gonna take a stance that just shows kind of a passive nature. He's not gonna come in aggressive, kind of reverent, like you would if you were visiting somebody else's home.
Okay. Do you play it up? Are you like bowing to random objects, or are you just maintaining an air?
Yeah, maintaining an air. Casual, not aggressive, not intrusive.
Okay. So Grinkeeper walks to the center. I'm sure walking proud, but sounds like you're not brandishing anything as you go.
No, just walking.
Cool. Ko, go ahead and place yourself on the map where you would end up during this fly casual. Splendorbelt, what are you up to?
I'm going to stand... I just moved my token there. I'm going to stand just inside this little bit of the entrance here. There we go. And just keep And I, kind of my back to the wall, but close to me. I'm not so comfortable walking right out in the middle of that place quite yet. This
With
flaming
Greenkeeper's-
skull thing, how high up is that? That's outside and on a. It's only visible on the outside, right? We can't see it from in here, from this room.
Right. If you were inside the gatehouse, you would not be able to see up to the top of the tower that is attached to the keep where this thing is flying around. Probably up about some 300 feet.
Okay. Just making sure it's not like visible from where we are. All right, yeah.
Looking at the keep where you are now, you can see that the keep itself is 3 stories tall. And then extending up from that is this ridiculously tall tower.
Okay.
Ko, you watch Grinkeeper walk out, and Grinkeeper naturally has a sort of air about them as well. You're not sure what their backstory is, but they do move with a sort of grace. And you do as well as you extend. And you see that the burning object up by this tower begins flying around again. Its great conal orange eyeballs turning once again to its work flying around the tower. Grinkeeper, you walk into the center and you let loose your ability, Divine Sense. It is out of range of the flaming object, but you do immediately sense an undead to your left. It is inside the ring of bushes by a tree.
Grinkeeper will turn and she'll look at Cohen's Splendor Belt and then point directly to the ring of bushes in the tree. Something in there.
Is it this right here?
Yep.
Okay.
That's where she's pointing. And now with that pointed out, amongst all the wind of this upper mountain atmosphere with the lake making its swooshing and the trees going in the breeze, you do hear a little bit of something, some knocking, some scratching coming from inside that ring of bushes.
Poe will point out that the skull has returned to flying around. It strikes me as a little weird. The skull seemed to notice when we came in and began flying around in a circle again once we just seemed to wander. It's almost like it's judging us whether we're intruding or not. Maybe we should tread carefully at first, not pick fights.
Could not
Okay.
agree more. Is good plan.
Then that's what we'll do. We won't fight unless they fight first.
As far as the keep goes, though, do we knock?
How about we announce? And Grinkeeper will go, now announcing Grinkeeper, Splendor Belt and Co.
Hold on.
Here for a visit.
This seems like bad idea.
What roll do you make with that particular announcement?
Persuasion.
All right.
An 8.
It rings out across the keep yard. There doesn't seem to be any reaction.
If there's no reaction, I'm going to go ham-fist my hand on the door.
Cool. So you proceed past the bush that is rustling and up to the keep door.
Yep. And I'll just...
Upon reaching the door, you see that it has embossed upon it, this great metal door, a great sun in the center, and its rays shining out in all directions across a mountainous background. There is a sort of ground. You can even see an image of the keep itself and the lake. And then below that is the image of what appears to be a giant scarab beetle, several of them with great hooks for hands. And as a head, instead of a beetle head, kind of looks like a chicken's face. There are about 5 of these, all sort of ducking, shrieking, and cowering from the light above.
Just in in relief, like it's sculpted out of the side a bit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, punched out towards you. I'm not sure if that's embossed or which direction that is.
That would be
word-wise, but
convex. So you'd be. That's like embossed, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be the images are pressed out towards you from the door when they were crafted.
I would say these looks like sign of what we could fight. There could be beetles or some sort of sun beast. Tabletop Scott knowing that's ridiculous, but that's something Splunderbelt would assume. If someone's going to have a symbol on his door, it means that stuff's in there.
Sure.
Then if it is rude and unwelcoming, we will kill it.
Do we all proceed to the door past the rustling bush?
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that bush, but it didn't react when I went past, right? It kind of stayed put.
Just continued to rustle with some unknown and from Grinkeepers proclaiming undead presence inside.
Yeah, I'll proceed past that. I don't need to mess with a magic monster in a bush.
Cool. Well, we push open the doors then, as Splunderbelt instructed. I will now reveal more map off to the side, and I will drag your tokens over. We find ourselves in the keep entranceway. There is a great staircase before you going up some 20 feet, and you can see the level above beyond. Otherwise, the room is lightly furnished with some very old, very beautiful looking rosewood chairs. And there is a door to the left and the right.
Straight to the skull?
Well, I mean, that is the question I was going to ask all of you. We've been tasked with going after the skull. As we've learned, they are very particular about what you are here to do, and only that. But this Alexandra, something seemed up. Do you think it is worth investigating?
What do you mean when you say up? You mean like she's deceiving you?
He
is deceiving you.
I don't know. It was just a weird feeling I got. Owns this place, but says it's a heirloom that he repurchased. Doesn't want us looking in mirrors, doesn't want it damaged. Seemed to be very quick on telling everyone that he properly paid for it. I don't know. Something is amiss.
And a party got lost. What if they didn't get lost?
I think we have time to investigate if we are interested.
We have all night. To the doors, then.
Okay, but don't go in swinging. Take it slow.
Good point. And Greenkeeper makes sure to keep her weapons and shield up. Not equipped, but unequipped.
Oh, yeah, I get up as in hidden.
Yes.
on your person. Cool. You have a left and a right door, and then the staircase in front of you. Which one do you go through?
Greenkeeper goes right.
Greenkeeper goes right.
I'll follow.
And takes you up.
By the way, I'm going to move as disadvantagedly slow as I can, or quietly as I can, to attempt to be stealthy with all my shit hanging off of me.
Let it rip. Let's see it.
Okay.
The face maces.
Yeah. Here goes. First roll's a 9. And another natty one.
For a 0.
So, yeah, that went well.
The important thing is that you tried.
Yeah. He'll always try. But as we've learned, he'll fail almost every time.
Splendor Belt attempts to go for the right door. However, in his well-known clumsiness, a face mace swings into one of the rosewood chairs, breaking off the handle. The sound of the cracked wood echoes across the keep entranceway here in this main hall. Seconds later, you hear footsteps coming down the hall that Grinkeeper is heading towards. Ko is the one to inform you of this with his high passive perception.
We're just in a hallway, right? There's not really any place to hide.
Well, right now we have basically moved. Grinkeeper has moved towards the door of which she wanted to go to. Ko was following, and Splendor Belt basically turned right immediately and walked into a rosewood chair, breaking off the arm.
Let's just move out of the way, see what happens. That started as me saying it, and then I was like, no, Ko can say this. So it's a little of both.
Cool. Ko directs you all out of the way. And as Ko pulls you back, that door opens. And emerging through it comes a skeletal mason. You know this from their leather apron that they're wearing, their wooden tools at their side. They're holding a can of something, some sort of glue perhaps. They have a brush inside of it, and they have a number of whittler tools in their belt. As the door opens, great, like flashlight, those same orange beams, those cone-shaped eyes are shining out through the skull. And it exits out very stiffly, making its way over to the chair. Bends down, scratches its non-existent beard, and begins fixing the chair.
Does it appear to be at all aware of us?
It doesn't look your way. It heads straight to the chair and gets to work, and is currently sanding and fixing the broken object.
Oh, will approach a little, still keeping something of a distance, and just say, we're terribly sorry about the chair. My friend is a absolute klutz. Our mistake. See if it reacts at all.
As you speak, the head spins with no sinews or organs to worry about and looks directly at you. It turns upwards, stands upwards. With its small hammer and its little wood chisel, its jaw goes completely slack and it lets loose this echoing, eerie scream, which I won't do for the radio audience, just for the sake of sanity. It echoes across the hall and it begins to attack.
Uh-oh.
Ko, you're up first. You see this thing brandishing its little weird spoon object. Like, how do you describe a whittle stick and its small mason hammer?
This is the sound it made. What? All right.
That is so canon. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't feel right attacking a tradesman. Let's try something a little weird. Is there another chair near me?
There are some. There are 4 chairs, so 8 chairs total, 4 on each side.
I'm gonna try and kick and snap the legs of one of the chairs.
Okay. Roll an attack.
It's a natural 1 for 3 on an unarmed strike.
I mean, it's a stationary chair. You don't actually break it off, but you do see where it sort of unhinges from the nails that held it to. So you've now got kind of a 3.5-leg chair going on, and it wobbles for a moment and then falls over sideways.
So I'll do that, and then I will back up.
Scott, if you would please let the skeleton scream again.
Yep, no problem. He's pissed.
What?
You hear additional footsteps coming from the left door behind you.
Oh, okay. Well, that's where I had backed up to, so I'm gonna be. Well, put me there.
Sounds good. Grinkeeper, you are up.
All right, Grinkeeper equips her shield and her warhammer, and she goes for a hit on the skeleton.
All right. Splendor Belt. Oh, nope. Wait. Oh, Greenkeeper, give us that hit.
A 12.
You swing with a 12, and this unarmored skeleton receives the hit.
12 damage.
All right. You shatter this poor mason skeleton to bits.
Oh.
As you hit it, its body falls apart, falls back, the rib cage breaking, and the various items in its belt rolling across the floor. And as she does so, the head seems to stay in its exact place for a moment before falling. And as the body falls to the ground, the lights in the eyes, these great high beams, turn off. And the skull clatters to the ground, the jaw unhinging and rolling off to the side.
Did he have anything to say before he dropped?
No, he did not have anything to say right before he dropped.
Making sure.
Did you want your back to that door, Co? You moved.
Yeah, this is where I'd be.
Okay. The door behind you jiggles and pushes against you.
Just lean against it harder, I suppose.
Splendor Belt, the door behind Co, the left door in this keep entranceway, is being pushed into his back, though it doesn't seem with amazing amount of force. There is a undead mason rolling across the floor at the moment, and Grinkeeper has delivered a massive blow. What would you like to do?
Well, I would remark that I think we've woken up its friends. Just behind Co, that's the only place we hear this?
Right, that's where the door is rattling and pushing against his body.
I wouldn't have much to do other than I would probably get closer to him. Whoops, where's my token? Just see if I can hear what this is. So I'd kind of come over here and just sort of put my hand on that and put my ear up to it and kind of try to make out what it is.
Cool, let's roll a perception.
Okay. Come on, baby. This is the time. 13. Not horrible.
You hear a sort of fanning in addition to a hard hand pressing over and over against the door. There's also something that distinctly sounds like high heels walking on a stone floor. Yeah, just like that. But sort of adjusting back and forth as it tries to get some leverage to push this door open.
Oh, wow. She's not 10 foot tall and has really long fingernails, does she?
No, I'm afraid I'm not internet savvy enough to just roll with that. But I guess it's a podcast, not a YouTube video, so we'll save the thirst for another time.
Sure. Well, I'll say this sounds bad. That's not normal skeleton behind door. Sounds like lady. I'll say to Co as I'm standing next to him.
How hard is it pushing against me? Just kind of average shoving strength? Is it...
Yeah, it feels like you're battling perhaps like a strong toddler. It's not a massive amount of strength, but the door would definitely open should you have not been there.
Are we free to act?
We are currently outside of combat, yes, but we'll maintain our same initiative should anything happen.
Okay, Ko is going to take out one of his daggers. He's going to stab it into the floor. Or is the floor stone or wood? I guess I should
Wood.
say.
It's a stone floor, a wooden door.
Okay, stab it into the door frame to where its crossguard is kind of between the frame and the door. And he's going to take out a hammer and hammer the dagger into the door and the side of the door even harder so it kind of sticks, and let go and see if it holds.
So you're basically crafting a nail to hold this door closed.
Yes.
Cool. Let's do let's do some sort of crafting. I guess we could go with survival since you're, throwing something together really quick, but
Okay.
let's see.
It's a 14 on the survival check.
All right. You managed to do just that. This knife, this dagger is now holding place in the door and the frame, leaving a pretty big gash there, of course, but the door holds as you back up.
I think perhaps we've angered the inhabitants, and maybe we do go visit the Flame Skull first.
Sure.
For all we know, it is controlling all of these. And so if we have pissed off them, we have pissed off Flaming Skull. But I see no other choice. We go to Skull.
All right, new plan. Skull first.
I like it.
What does that mean for the
go up
party?
Up the stairs.
We're going upstairs.
Up the stairs. All right. We proceed up the stairs. Allow me to reveal some more mappages. Grinkeeper leading the way. Our usual march order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We find ourselves on the second floor. There is a door to your left and right. There's some glass on the door. You can see that it heads up to the top of the walls that circle the keep courtyard. Also to your left is a set of double doors in an immediate room. To your right, a staircase leading further up. And before that, around the banister, around this nice, beautiful bronze carving banister, comes to another one of those weird chicken heads on the end of it. Around from that is another set of great wooden doors. These ones finely decorated, but it's nothing that particularly stands out. Lots of branches and fig leaves and images of plentiful bounty bowls and food.
This leads to the dining hall?
That would be this door here, the plain double doors here, and then those two glass doors to your left and right with the staircase heading upward.
Well, I'm inclined to keep going upward, right? Unless you guys want to go through these doors.
No, Grinkeeper is gonna keep going up unless called to stop.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Cool. We round about, passing the food-based double doors, and proceed up the stairs further. I shall reveal more on the map. You find yourselves using the stairs to sort of switch back your way up onto the final floor, as seen from the outside. Here you find, at the top, a large fireplace. There seems to be a common area. There are several old upholstered couches in fine leathers along the wall. There are 4 doors up here. 3 of them are divided in increments, and one sort of stands out in the middle as this great stone door. The other 3 are wooden and lay before you.
Stone door seems the odd one out.
I think it is worth a try.
Greenkeeper heads over to the stone door.
Stone door it is.
Upon reaching it, you see a sort of lever, or one could even call it in out-of-game terms, a joystick. There is a metal ball on the end of a lever, and it sits inside a plush-shaped carving. Seemingly, the lever can be pulled up, left, right, or down.
Greenkeeper pulls it down.
Greenkeeper pulls it down.
Of course she does. Sounds like what she would do.
As you pull it down, you hear a bell, a tinkling through the wall. Ding, 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 ding. A little too churchy.
Yeah, a little church belly. Doesn't quite work. That's all I had. No door movement? Anybody walking
No door
up to
movement.
it? Okay.
Just the ringing of this bell. Ko, where are you in the room currently?
I'd be standing near Greenkeeper, kind of watching what she's doing.
You notice behind you these great stained glass windows making just a beautiful view out of the courtyard. Coming on down from the top, you see the 2 flashlights, the 2 great orange descend, and they're shining through the stained glass.
I think you've attracted the attention of something.
Oh, yeah? Here, let's try this. And then she'll hit the lever up.
You hit the lever up, and you hear instead a click. Just a little. The beams, these flashlights, these lights, decrease in size as they approach the window until you eventually see whatever it is pressed against it. A great wreath of flames, green flames, around the object.
She goes right.
You push it right, and the bell rings again.
And then left.
Grinkeeper begins like shifting a car as a kid, starting to move it about furiously, and it clicks, and at certain directions it clicks and rings a bell and clicks, rings a bell. And as you do so, the glass breaks open, and flying inside is a skull wreathed in green flames. These great high beam orange lights shooting from its eyeballs. And that's where we'll go on break.
That's perfect.
Jeez.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna go do our break. Come back in a minute, more like 8 minutes, and we'll see where we're at after that. We'll be right back, everybody. Where are we back to recording? We are. We're back. All right, we're picking it up where we were last. Kyle,
with a break of glass against the stained glass window, the skull, the flame skull, has slammed its head into the glass, creating a hole. The mouth opens and let loose a scream.
Oh, what?
And its mouth alights, an orb of fire appearing inside that seems to grow and grow until it encapsulates or takes up the entire maw. And it's about to launch, so for this, we're going to roll initiative because that's what you get to do before I cast this very spell. Let's roll initiative.
All right.
I got a 4.
Oh, jeez. Look at us in the rolls.
Oh,
Yeah, 2 dirty
20.
20s. I guess dirty doesn't matter. We got 2 20s.
All right. And Splendor Belt?
A 14.
Awesome. All right.
I didn't mean to hit
The
that 8.
spell-
Ignore that. Sorry, go ahead.
The flame skull out the window seems to be preparing some sort of spell, particularly one of fire. You each have an action before this happens. Ko? Or a full round, actually, if you so choose, of course, to move and all that sort of stuff. What do you do?
Am I going before Greenkeeper? I think we had the same initiative, right?
We'll do you first because your initiative is technically higher.
Okay. Alright, he's charging up a fireball. Is he's outside the window, he smashed it, but he's still floating around out there?
Exactly. It's about to be cast through this hole in the window. The creature is technically of the tiny size class. So, because it's just a skull, a normal human skull. At this range, through sort of the glare of the window and with this fire emanating in, you can see that it has 2 orange crystals in its eye sockets. Its bone seems to be etched with runes across its entire skull, and the flames otherwise encase the whole thing.
Whoa, that's
Pretty
cool.
small. That is cool looking.
Yeah.
Alright, here's a weird idea.
Mm-hmm.
I would like, if I can't do this all in one action, that's fine, because I understand this is probably a lot. But I currently have hands free because I didn't draw any weapons. So I would like to take my backpack, open it, and let its contents fall out onto the ground in its entirety.
Okay.
And I would like to try to wrap the skull in the backpack.
Okay.
I love it.
So it is created in the stained glass window. It has broken one of the sort of iron encased areas of glass. So getting your full backpack out that hole.
Oh,
a tiny
okay.
hole-
So it's not a shattered window, it's just a section of the window.
Correct.
Okay. All right, that does change things a little bit.
But it's a cool idea.
In that case, we're not going to do that. All my stuff's back in my backpack, which is good, where it should be.
You can also think about it as we are all before the flame skull's turn, and we can move on to someone else for the moment.
Yeah, let's let Greenkeeper go.
Cool. Grinkeeper, the skull is beginning to cast out the window hole, and it screamed, "What?" into the building.
All right, so how far away is it from the glass that it broke?
It is within the 5 feet, so it is technically occupying the space right outside that window. It's probably about 2 feet out from that area, though miniature-wise, it is in that 5-foot square. So you are currently 30 feet away from it, working the joystick on the stone door.
Okay. So she's gonna see it getting ready to barf fire all over the room. And Ko had mentioned something about a fireball. So she's gonna go, "Not today!" And then she's gonna pull out her warhammer and swing it like a baseball bat and try to knock the face far away.
Okay, so you move the 30 feet over to the window and through the hole. Are you planning to break through the glass with a swing, or do you jab your hammer through the hole?
No, she's standing at the joystick, Then she sees it. She pulls out the warhammer, holding it like a bat, so it's held two-handed. And then
Okay.
she runs over with a arcing motion from bottom to top to kind of baseball bat it.
Bottom to top, like you're uppercutting with the hammer.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to break more glass as you swing up and hit the skull on the other side.
The hammer's going through that window to knock
Okay.
that face.
Cool. Hit me with your attack. And if there's any augments or anything you do with it, let it be known.
A 9.
A 9. So you hit the glass, and on one of these metal rings that hold the glass and decorate the window and give it support, your hammer gets stuck.
No! And she'll start trying to pull it out.
Do you have any bonus actions you want to use?
Hold on. She kind of panics a little bit, and she looks around, and she sees that Ko has the least amount of armor, so she's gonna throw Shield of Faith on him.
Very cool.
Gives him a +2 bonus to AC.
Awesome. Bonus action, concentration, verbal, material, somatic, and all that sort of thing. Shimmering Shield +2 to AC. Excellent.
How long does that last for?
Up to 10 minutes.
Sweet.
But it's
With concentration. Yeah. Were you ready, Ko? We'll jump back to you.
Yeah, so the window is smashed now.
The window is smashed, and there's quite a bit bigger of a hole now.
All right. Ko is going to take out the Sultan's Sash of Climbing,
Okay.
and he is going to run with the bulk of it in his hand, but letting a bit trail. And he is going to leap out the window and try and wrap the skull in it like like one of those motions. And we said it's a bonus action to tell it to tie, right?
Right.
The part that's lingering, I'm going to have it tie at any remnants of the bar of the window that I can, so that I'm holding on to something that's technically anchored.
That is some hardcore parkour going on.
Okay, so let me get this right. So Greenkeeper has broken the metal rungs and some of the glass, now revealing this hole that you are going to jump through. And as you do, you are going to tie Sultan's Rope of Climbing to one of the metal rings, so you're supported as you go out the window?
Yeah, so I want the part that's dragging behind me. I want it to tie one end as my bonus action as I run. So I still have the spooled bulk of the sash in my hand.
Okay.
And I'm going to then leap from the window and try and probably around the mouth, almost like a gag, try and get the skull with the sash as well.
In midair.
In midair.
Awesome. Okay.
Here are 8 rolls you need to give. That's intense, man.
Go big or go home.
That's what I always say.
Okay, let's use... So I'm going to want 2 rolls from you. We're
Okay.
going to do athletics, which will be the jump out the window to aim correctly, as well as the strength to hold onto the rope when, of course, you snap with your own body weight.
Okay.
The second will do a sleight of hand as you try to work that rope into the mouth or around the creature to create this tie.
It does say, I think this is getting a bit technical. I have advantage on athletics checks for climbing the rope. This isn't technically climbing it. Is it going to be a straight roll? Or does it have advantage?
Okay, let's do... So we'll roll advantage on the part where your weight hits the bottom of the rope.
Okay.
So I'll leave that up
Right.
to you if you want to roll 1 athletics for the jump, or keep that athletics with the advantage from the other side. So first,
Okay.
So first and foremost, let's roll that athletics as you run towards the window. The magical rope is going to tie itself as your bonus action, no problem.
Great. That's gonna be a 6.
Okay.
Although I have something with jumps, right?
I believe that increases the distance or height of your jumping.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. I can roll a d8 to add to any jump.
Well, it's right at the window, so we're not going for distance here, just merely accuracy. And it
Okay.
seems your jump is pretty inaccurate, but now let's roll that other athletics that now shows where you kind of grab onto with that advantage.
Oh, let's hope for... Nope, those are both bad rolls. Athletics I'm not good at. Acrobatics? I suppose any of this acrobatics would factor into it.
Not particularly.
Acrobatic stunts, dives, rolls, somersaults, and flips. What if I flipped out the window? What if I did it with a flip?
We're gonna do. I mean, this is terribly badass, except for the fact that you miss. Grinkeeper makes a large hole in the window structure, and you dive at it with your rope. You lasso it as you swing out around one of these metal rots. You swing out towards the flame skull and just completely miss, swinging past it. The rope goes taut as you extend down, and you slam against the keep wall.
All right.
That deals 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Well, crap. Okay.
Then, as you failed to maintain your athletics and hold on to this rope, the rest of it goes slack as it is a full-length rope, and you fall down to the ground below for 5 points of damage as well.
Damn.
So you're now on the courtyard level, 3 stories down, but the rope was able to be taut enough that you only took the wall slam and then the additional 10 feet as fall.
Okay.
So let's move you out the window and into the courtyard.
Well, I'm out of imminent danger from the skull.
You may very well take less damage. We'll see what happens with Splendor-Belt's turn.
Okay. Grinkeeper's poised to be is neck and neck with this thing again, or foot to foot, or face to face, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Grinkeeper has been dove past by a satyr who dove out the window next to her, kind of sort of leaping over her as she tries to work her warhammer out of those rots, but is otherwise occupying the majority of the window space where this skull is currently flying.
Okay. I'm going to cast... Let me make sure this is right. Yeah, I'm
You
going
got
to cast...
spells, you got items, you got a potion you bought last week.
For now, I'm going to cast guidance on her. I have to get up and touch her, so I'll do that. I don't know why that sounds weird as I say it, but anyway, I'm going to walk up here and very appropriately touch her. And before the spell ends, Kristen, can now, let's see, you can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of your choice. I wish I'd have gone first, because if I had to cast this first, you would have had a way better roll. Anyway, it can roll the die before or after making the ability check. So you can do that. You can run that d4 before or after you roll. Doesn't matter. The spell ends when that move ends. So I cast guidance on her.
Once before the spell ends, up to 1 minute. Cool. So in the next minute, you can spend, and it is a concentration being occupied by Crandall's Splendor Belt. All right. So you have access to that additional d4 if you choose to use it. You have moved next to her. Any bonus actions you would like?
Nope. I'll just be back there. You know what? I'll out with the double maces though. So if I can count that as a bonus action to ready those maces in my hands, I'll do that.
Cool. You got your maces out in front of you. It's the Flame Skull's turn, and he lets loose a level 3 cast fireball.
Oh.
All still inside the building, being Grinkeeper and Splendor Belt. Please roll a Dex saving throw, of which you can use that D4, Kristen.
Yeah, she can use that for this, right?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, you said
Now,
Dex?
Glad I'm outside.
Come on, baby.
Although I probably would have saved.
All right, I
these.
use it. So an 11 plus 4, 15.
I got a nat 20 -1, so 19. So I have -1 to dex.
Okay. What'd you get, Kristen?
An 11 plus 4 I rolled with the D4 from guidance is a 15.
Okay, excellent. So you both save, however, Splendor Belt, you have rolled a natty 20.
Yeah.
You have several options to be protecting yourself from this fire. Your most immediate option is to hide behind Grinkeeper and basically push her in the way. But you also have some items of furniture. There's those fine upholstered couches in the area. You could dive underneath. What sort of
bonus money is burning up?
Yeah.
What sort of dodge action would this 20 mean to Splendor Belt? How would he go about it?
Is there one that I could dive over? Like, do you know what I mean? Like over the top of some furniture and hide behind it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I would dive over it like, Jason Statham trying to get away from the RPG just blew into the room.
Okay, so there's this beautiful handcrafted writing desk.
Mm-hmm.
And you do the one hand on it, kick over the top, fly over, end up on the other side, even kind of give it a little push, action push.
Yeah.
So you've now got a sheer wall of wood in front of you.
Yep. Easy, best to avoid fireballs with that move. You said fireball, not bolt, right?
Correct. Fireball.
Gosh,
so this is a 20-foot radius sphere located in the center of the room here. So the couch, the writing desk, the fine mahogany chairs all burst into flames as this fireball goes out. The carpet, beautiful. This maroon red woven tapestries on the wall alight, and flames engulf the entire upstairs lounging area here. Grinkeeper, with your successful dex save, you take half damage from the fireball, which is going to be 12 points of fire damage for you. Splendor Belt misses entirely, though does peek his head up over a burning embers of what's left of a writing desk. Meanwhile, laying on your back on the floor below, looking up, you see all the glass windows explode outward, and you are arraigned in harmless stained glass. As we recover from our various positions, Ko being the only one who didn't have to dodge here, laying on his back, looking up, the flame skull once again rises up to the top of the tower and begins circling anew. Splendorbelt peeks up from over his remains of a desk. Grinkeeper has burn marks on her cheeks, but has otherwise managed to deck down below the window and miss the majority of the fireball damage. You look up, the skull is gone, and you see a Ko laying on his back 3 stories below.
He's just going, our bonus gold.
Cole! Cole, are you okay down there? Grinkeeper sticks her head out the window looking down.
I've been better, and he'll issue the command to have the sash untie itself so it just falls down towards him too.
With that,
Yeah, exactly.
falls into a pile.
And I assume that room is on fire, right?
Yes, this room is flammable. Objects are lit, but it does not appear to be spreading. This is a stone keep, so the carpet is heavily singed and smelly. There's some curtains that are currently aflame, but nothing is exactly alighting the keep at the moment or causing any sort of undue stress in that way.
All right, that's good. Whose turn is it? Is it mine?
We are out of turn order at the moment.
Okay.
As the combatant, this flame skull, has left your view, Ko being the only one who saw where it went.
Oh, right.
You do, however, hear a distant door open and close, and footsteps coming up the stairs. That would be Splendorbelt hearing that coming up the stairs as you are currently in the corner behind the writing desk, where you have dodged to.
Are they lady shoes again?
These ones are not.
Oh.
They sound muffled against the carpet as they are no longer against the stone that those supposed high heels you heard from behind the door were.
Okay. And we don't know. Sorry, did you say what direction that sounded like it came from?
Coming from down the stairs at your current location, so you're hearing it echoing upwards from the stories below.
Okay. That's where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
And Ko is outside.
Yep.
And he's
down in the courtyard currently.
If I
Just laying on his back, thinking about life.
If I get over here and look out where he fell out, can I see him?
Yep, he's down there on the floor, the rope having descended to him.
Okay. Does he look really hurt or anything from here? Can I tell?
He looks winded. Definitely took some fall damage, slamming into the ground and the wall itself. So, I mean, you're pretty proficient at healing and all. He looks about half health down there.
And how many feet away would you say he is?
He is 3 stories down, so we're talking about 45 feet or so.
Okay. Well, I have to touch him to do what I need to do, so.
Yeah, I'm a little further than that.
Yeah.
Crandall Splendorbelt sticks a hand out the window, kind of tries to lean down, then realizes what he's doing and thinks better of it.
Can you get up? Climb up the rope.
I can. I'll be up in a minute.
Okay. Shake off the embarrassment. It could have happened to anybody. Do not feel sad.
Ko slowly groan, turn over, grab the rope, tuck it back in the bag, pull himself up, dust himself off, and make his way back into the keep.
As you stand up, a figure rises from the ring of bushes there in the courtyard. This must have been the thing that Grinkeeper sensed. You turn around to see a skeletal figure wielding a large pair of gardening scissors. They're managing the bush out here. Trimming it. Cutting into a clean geometric shape.
Alright, well, I know not to interact with him, so I'm gonna just ignore him, go about my business, and go inside.
As you head inside, you see what remains of the mason skeleton still on the ground. The door in the left still banging against the dagger you have placed to hold it closed. The right side door is open, and you also now hear the footsteps on the second floor above you.
I'm gonna take a moment while I'm here. I'm gonna go peek inside that right-hand door that got left open. See if I see anything milling around in there. Just kind of scope it out real quick.
You look down the hall, and you see a 5-foot wide hallway going back some 60 feet, basically the length of the remaining keep. There is a door to the left, and then it goes out the length and turns to the left. You can figure that these 2 doors adjoin on either side and ring around the length of the keep.
I'm gonna try the door. Just take a peek in there and see if I see anything.
All right, you open the door, or you peek in the door. Let's do a stealth check for that peeking.
A 26.
Excellent. You peek with the best of them. You slide open the door ever so slightly and look inside, revealing one half of the room with this peeking. And you see a small, very basic bedside table. It has a number of tools on it, as well as a handkerchief. You can see that these tools appear to be mason's tools. There is also a bed in view on this half of the room, and lying in it, fully dressed in a butler's outfit, a suit, but appears to be wearing shorts, a skeleton, laying in bed motionless.
I'm gonna try and creep into this place, get a better look.
All right, you, with this 26, expertly, deftly open the door without any squeaks or sounds and enter. You see yet another bed on the other half of the room, which your peeking didn't reveal. Here lays a skeleton wearing a nice suit of sorts and what appears to be a chef's hat.
Ooh. Wouldn't recommend
Alright.
eating that food.
Looks like we've got a bit of servants' quarters down here. Gonna back out, quietly close the door. I'm not really in a rush to get back upstairs. Let's go further down this hallway. Give the next room a peek as well.
Cool. You proceed with your peeking, but we shall rejoin Splendorbelt and Greenkeeper briefly. You see Ko enter the building, but he appears to not have gone directly up. Behind you, the footsteps are climbing the stairs near you, and the first thing you see is a large amount of fabric. A roll of carpet. The same maroon carpet that has been lying in this room, which is currently smoldering. A skeleton enters, wearing carpenter's clothes, with a series of tools and nails, and over his shoulder he carries the same red carpet. And he immediately begins to bend down with a pair of shears, cut out the burning carpet, sweeping away the embers, and starts measuring and replacing the burning fabric.
Oh, heck yeah, they're gonna fix the bonus money we just lost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, Greenkeeper will keep her distance and just let it go to work.
Yeah, I won't say anything. I'll just sort of move out of, just keep my distance as well. It doesn't seem to notice us unless we, provoke it, right?
As far as you know, yes.
Okay. We know we can take him down with a quick hit. It's just a matter of... Yeah. I like John's idea. I really want that extra 500 gold. So we'll let him do his work. If he is indeed doing anything. That's the thing, though. Is he just going through the motions? Can we tell?
No, he's actually got a roll of the same carpet that was burning on the floor here. Though you do notice that as he measures this out, and with the sweeping he's doing of the various embers, he is not able to repair the burnt couch and writing desk in this room and is merely collecting the items on the floor.
Oh man, this is because we killed that mason. Or the craftsman.
We tell boss man it was like this when we came here.
I agree.
Pay
That
Lord,
would
forgive
be
me.
a lie.
Yeah, Greenkeeper can't agree. She'll say that and then she'll go, no, I can't agree. I'm sorry.
Paylord does not like it when I lie either. Was only in jest.
Gods are weird, aren't they?
Yeah, nobody means it. We kid.
The two divine glasses convinced themselves they weren't actually going to lie. It's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Paylor be praised.
Yep.
We return to Ko, who is making his way around the servants' quarters. You find in total 4 different rooms. Let me reveal those here on the map. The next one you come to is currently unoccupied, though it has a various bit of carpeting tools in it, as well as the mason's tools that you saw earlier. And as you round the final corner, that brings you back around. And you see, still trying to push against that door with all their might, a skeleton from the back wearing a black dress with a white apron and a little sort of a cloth tiara. Seems a maid is trying to get through the door, feather duster in hand.
All right, well, no need to disturb her. We'll let her keep trying to push on that door and investigate the final room.
You head down here and you find an empty bed with a bedside table with various makeup supplies and a small what's the word for a fancy closet?
Boudoir.
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 A wardrobe.
Wardrobe.
Okay.
John and I were both. I think boudoir just means bedroom. I'm not sure.
I like it though.
Yeah.
It's a good fancy word. You find in here also a skeleton laying down. He's in full riding clothes. The pants with the extra big thighs on the side. A top hat currently sits on his chest as he holds it aloft. A fine cravat wrapped around his neck.
All right, curiosity satisfied. I'll make my way to the second floor. The long way.
You mean not climbing out the wind? What's the long way?
I won't
you'll
go
around
past
path.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Avoiding the maid who is trying to get out the door, still leaving that sealed, and making your way back up. You find Splendorbelt and Grinkeeper in conversation about lies or something. Something about how they didn't mean it. There is a skeletal worker, a carpenter, currently replacing, to the best of his ability, the singed and burnt carpet.
All right, now that Ko knows it. Oh, maybe we will get the bonus money.
Your eyes go over to the still smoldering writing desk and the thoroughly blasted couch.
Yeah, you kill skeleton who take care of this. So unless you know how to reupholster
Did not
couch.
kill that skeleton.
I was the
Grinkeeper
one.
killed that
Oh
skeleton.
shit! Yes, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah. I mean, nobody is
Maybe
at
we
fault.
tell him we found it that way.
I tried this thinking. We cannot lie. I cannot
We've
lie.
decided we can't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Paylor be pissed.
maybe we just don't talk about it. Maybe we just say we got the keep.
That's what I say. He
Here you
pays
go.
us great. If not, fine. But we don't have to say. He's not alive. We don't tell him.
I mean, maybe we will get partial credit.
Yeah, just don't spend 500 too soon. So when he comes and says, "Hey, couch was burnt. Give back money," we will still have money to give back.
Regardless, I think we need to be a bit more careful about damaging the property. But I did take a look at the downstairs. It's all tradesmen, servants' quarters, that kind of thing. I did
So
not
what
check
about
out
up
the
here?
second floor.
Where did Skull go?
When- Oh, the skull went back up top.
Oh, so,
So
it's same
it's
one.
almost like it's acting like a sentry. It didn't really seem to be bothered until Greenkeeper started fiddling with the lever.
Want me to do it again?
No, I do not.
Okay. So we need to find a way up.
I'm wondering if that lever is like some sort of vault. Sometimes it rang a bell, sometimes it clicked. Maybe there is a combination, as is the case with most locks.
Oh, that's a great idea. What would the
Yeah.
combination be?
This is problem. We don't know. We make it
Well-
up. We could ask Skeleton Lady, "Hey, what is that thing for the pole thing?" And she say, "I don't know. I just fix carpet and door and shit." We are
I think
screwed.
she would be more likely to say, "What?" And then we would be down one more worker. Maybe we investigate the rest of these rooms carefully. See if we can find anything.
Yeah. Let's do it. First room. Greenkeeper starts to head to the closest door.
Cool. We begin investigating the various floors around us, and I'll just go ahead and speed us along as we've decided that we are going to be moving carefully and undisturbing the various environments as best we can. You find to your left here 2 small bedrooms. Both seem to be adorned with various colorful decorations, and the beds are of pretty small size, about 4 foot each. There's a bedside table, but there doesn't seem to be any items in the drawers themselves. The large door in the back leads to a master bedroom. Here, the furniture is truly of the highest quality. There is that armoire, there is a 2 bedsides table, a large fold-out writing desk with all the various cubbies and fold-downs that you would expect from something of such fine craftsmanship. A massive wardrobe containing old clothes, which are still decently maintained, fine aristocratic clothes. A fireplace with a mantle, of which there doesn't seem to be anything on anymore. These are the basics, by the way, that I'm explaining. If you would like to make any rolls in these areas, do let me know. Otherwise, we will talk about what's on the second floor here real quick. You find that the double doors to the left as you went up those stairs lead to a kitchen. There doesn't seem to be any actual food inside, though you do see plenty of cutting boards, knives, and pots for water, as well as the stove itself, the pots and pans, and the serving trays. There is a door through the kitchen, but also the double doors with those beautiful carvings of food upon it that lead to a huge dining table with a fireplace on either side of it to keep it nice and warm for the guests. It is surrounded by some 12 chairs, and it seems this room was used for rather elegant feasts and parties.
While we investigate, Ko will look at not Greenkeeper, Splendorbelt, and say, "When I fell earlier, I noticed you were reaching out for me, trying to touch me.
Oh,
You may
yes.
touch me now."
Yes, let me touch you now. Hold still. I give you a touch. Okay, I'm going to give him... I'm going to cure wounds. What I'm going to do. And here goes. I cure him. I heal him for 6 points of his life.
All right. Ko has recovered somewhat from his fall. As you perform this healing action there in the dining hall, you hear footsteps coming up the stairs. The sun has gone beyond the ring of mountains that are enclosing this mountaintop lake that you're currently in the middle of on this keep. As that sun just goes behind there and it starts to get a little dark, coming up the stairs, you see the cook. Well, the skeletal cook. He heads to the kitchen. Several moments later, you see him come out with a large pot and head down the stairs and out the keep door.
I would like to go back up to what seemed like the master bedroom and see if I can do an investigation on like the desk. See if we can do the video game thing of here's the combination written down so I won't forget any papers like that of interest on the desk.
Sounds good.
Some Resident Evil 2 business there.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
What have you got?
Yep.
9.
A 9. You poke around the desk. Many of the papers have been faded with time. None of them has been managed by the upkeep staff of skeletons as you've seen them so far. They are all illegible, the books old and rotted, and no library of any sorts to maintain the books. With your 9, you don't find anything really of interest. Though, of course, that was Ko's inspection, so others are welcome to try.
I would like to look around the space and see if there's anything on a wall or a carvings or anything, or even anything to do with the chicken head carving that maybe has some hints as to order in which to do things, kind of Skyrim style, how they used to do those puzzles.
Sure.
Anything like that in the room? Perception okay?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Oh. Like the edge of my browser is an actual wall. Anyway, an 8. It was a 14 plus 2, but then it rolled because right there is a wall. Anyway, 8. That's a shit roll.
You don't find anything of interest either, though you do investigate these more thoroughly. These odd chicken heads, they seem almost reptilian on closer view. Their eyes are ridiculously small. There don't seem to be any pupils engraved on them. Maybe at one point they were painted, but you're not sure. And they seem to have artistically added on, not actually heading out of the statues themselves or the carvings, whiskers.
Oh.
You get a little overwhelmed by these bizarre carvings and don't get up to much else. Meanwhile, Grinkeeper rolled a 13 on what now?
Investigation. She's helping Co sift through papers, books, that kind of thing.
You investigate the desk next to Co, and as he pulls open the various drawers, opens the sides, you think, I should fold out the desk. So you pull the two little holders out of this old antique style desk and fold it down back towards yourself. And inside you find 3 pieces of paper, which are still in good condition, unweathered by time. I'm going to drop those in the Discord here for you. The first piece of paper appears to have 2 symbols on it.
Man.
Yeah,
The second
well,
piece of paper is an artist's sketch, a rendition of some kind of doorway.
it's a little bit like a bird's eye view of a bald man with a little bit of swirl of hair on top of his head, and he's looking down at his wiener.
I do not see. I see the what part's the wiener?
I'm good.
That's the question.
the middle bump. So if the camera was up above his head, see, the problem is the swirl. There's no outline for the head, but imagine the swirls, a little bit of swirl of hair on top of an otherwise bald head, and then he's a little bit of a wide person here.
Oh,
and then
you're talking about the 2 symbols, not the door itself.
No, just the two
Okay.
symbols.
I guess a bump in the middle could be a wiener for anything under the sun. But I will continue dispensing these handouts, and then we'll talk about what's on them.
All right, excellent. That sounds
Wieners.
good. Wieners.
So you find the first piece of paper with the 3 bumps connected by a line and a spiral. The second, this artist's sketch of a doorway with a face upon it, carved out of a stone wall, stairways heading upward on underneath it. And then finally, what appears to be some sort of note with arrows pointing up, left, up, down, right, and then some sort of circle.
Well, I think I know what the arrows go for, but check out the symbols. This looks like the ruins.
It does. It's the same.
You do make the connection.
I don't think we had a translation for either one of these, though.
No.
But
I don't remember it. I don't think so.
Ko would still have the piece of paper on his person.
yeah, Ko pulls out his Delver's Guide where he copied it and points out it's the same as the bottom 2 symbols from the original.
I'll go ahead and repost that for everybody looking at it.
Well, maybe if we have a free moment in the future, we can go and attempt to retrieve the tablet again. We know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. And maybe they've translated. It's been a month and a half.
And Ko will take out, this time, he has a forgery kit, which does include some papers. Now he has actually paper and ink. He'll take out some paper, ink. He will transcribe it properly to be saved, both the original, because it's starting to smear because it was done with ash. The original, the new one, as well as the arrows. and
Very cool.
get all of that on a page.
All right, you found these 3 pieces of paper in the master bedroom writing desk. What do you do next?
All right, who wants the honors with the thing? The lever.
I mean, you found it. I would say you should do the honors. I will be hanging back.
I agree.
Grinkeeper will look excited. Thanks. And then she'll run off to the lever and start going.
Okay, Grinkeeper runs up to the lever. What do you do?
She follows the directions on the sheet. So if it says go up, she goes up. If it says go left, go left.
And then the final symbol is a circle. You go up, each time you do this, you hear a click, click up, left, up, down, right, and then there's a circle for the final symbol.
She'll try to move the thing in a circle to see if it does, but if not, she'll hit all 4 points in whichever direction the circle's going.
You complete the combination full of clicks, and you get to the circle symbol instructions, and you wheel that thing around, and it goes ding, 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 as it hits all 4 sides. You hear distant out the window a great what?
I don't believe that was the proper combination.
What? There. Sorry.
That very voice appears in the window. The flame skull is back. Roll initiative.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
No, okay.
23.
Come on, baby. 2.
7.
Okay, let's get ourselves laid out here. We've got Grinkeeper currently at the device. We have a skeletal carpenter working on the floor nearby. Ko and Splendorbelt, where would you be while this code was entered into the stone door?
I put myself where I would be. I'd be keeping a distance, but where I could see her. So that corner there is where I would be.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be right where I'm at.
All right, standing there by the window.
Yeah.
So appearing next to you, floating down from above, comes the screaming flame skull. His mouth once again opens up, and inside you see another ball of fire. However, this one seems more material, and it slowly starts to move outside of his mouth, growing in size as it enters the room. However, before that can happen, Ko, you get an action, a full turn.
I am going to race over to see if I can help avert this by pitching in on the control. And I'm going to try and lean over and try and re-enter the code.
Okay, what do you do when you reach the circle symbol?
I'm going to try and push the thing down directly.
Push it into the wall or pull down on it lever style?
Push it down into the wall.
Okay.
Like R3. L3, R3. Push down on the joypad.
Like the joysticks. Perfect. All right, so you run over there and you spend your turn entering the code and then press it into the wall, and the metal ball in the end does push back in, and the door begins to rise.
I don't suppose the skull seems deterred.
No, the skull still seems to be casting its mighty spell.
Okay. That was my full turn probably to do all that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you used your move. I guess you would have a bonus action. You have some interesting bonus actions. That's actually kind of a big deal.
Bonus action. I can dash. I can use my cunning action to dash. So maybe I would take cover, because
You could max paint it through one of these doors here.
yeah, let's just get through one of these doors.
Cool. So Grinkeeper Coke runs over to your side and is basically like, no, like this, up, down, left, right, did, and enters it in. And then right as he finishes the code, he leaps backwards on his goat legs and flies through one of the bedroom doors, ending up in one of these tiny bedroom rooms. The Flame Skull casts Flaming Sphere. The ball flies out of its mouth slowly, but still part of this 6-second action, and grows to be a 5-foot sphere of fire in the center of the room. Allow me to get us some nice red fire here for this this flaming ball. It sits right next to Grinkeeper. Grinkeeper, make a dexterity saving throw.
16.
Nice dodge. All right, you manage to back away from the fire. You still take 2 points of fire damage, but otherwise you manage to get out of the majority of the harmful ways of this. Its eyes with those great beams are staring right at the flaming sphere. It lets loose a scream as the ball seems to be under the command of this flame skull and starts to make its way towards Splendorbelt. However, that'll happen on another turn. We'll just move the ball towards Splendorbelt. And as this 5-foot ball of fire moves across the ground, it just leaves a great trench of burnt carpet.
Yep, there goes our deposit.
No, the carpet can be fixed. We just gotta keep it away from the furniture.
Don't let it touch the furniture.
Grinkeeper, it's your turn.
Grinkeeper, seeing that the ball is headed towards Splendorbelt, will run towards Splendorbelt and try to hook an arm around his arm to pull him away. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. She's gonna run up to Splendorbelt, try and hook an arm, and then run him to a room out of direct sight of the skull.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Room.
Yeah, so you're going to... He's a conscious figure, so you're going to forcibly move him like you might push someone through a crowd.
Yeah.
Cool. Roll an acrobatics for me.
16.
Okay, cool. You managed to cross across the room, past the flame sphere without interacting with it, taking any fire damage. You managed to pass the carpenter skeleton without damaging him and his work, though it's currently being a little counteractive at the moment as he lays down fresh carpet. And you walk up behind Splendorbelt, and she starts pushing you in a nearby room. Do you let it ride, Splendorbelt?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll let her do it.
Cool. She pushes the both of you into the nearby bedroom here.
Okay.
Where she hurriedly shoves you onto that small 4-foot size bed and closes the door. Closing the door?
She'll keep it cracked, but she wants to break line of sight with the skull. So it can't see them.
Cool. Sounds good. Splendorbelt, it is your turn.
Okay. Since that thing's open to crack, could I move from here? Whoops. From where I'm at to there to see through that crack?
Sure.
Okay.
That would give you sight across the room through the crack kind of this way.
Okay.
Or you could go up above her and have a look out the window there. So depending on where you're located, you would have a different field of view.
Okay. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to conjure a whole bunch of water and have it rain in there, knowing that that's not going to help furniture and carpet be any more valuable, but it will hopefully kill this thing. So I'll conjure this thing up and see how we do.
Okay.
All right, there's always thunder when it's raining. Hold on, I gotta find my roll here. Here we go. Okay,
It's
so
my favorite Imagine Dragons song. It's always
10 gallons of clean water. Let's see. The water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube within range, extinguishing exposed flames in the area. I don't know if that means the entity of the ball or not, but I assume so. Anyway, let's see. I gotta just make sure I do this right. Yeah, we don't need more gallons, so I'll cast this at level... first level. Oh, no, wait. Where is it? Yeah, I'll do it at first level for 10 gallons. Okay, so here goes. I guess you have to...
Cool.
How does this work? There's no,
Yeah,
like,
there's nothing to
saving
cast.
throw. It's just...
No, this is going to be great. But you don't have to cast anything particular because you just make water. You were just commanding the rains to fall indoors out the bedroom right now.
Oh.
And you do that.
Okay.
So 10 gallons dramatically falls within 6 seconds and immediately hitting the ball. It seems to decrease its size, but that's just in the first second of those 6 seconds. The entire living area outside of the bedroom doors fills with steam and is heavily obscured. You can't see a thing out there.
Nice.
But the steam isn't glowing, so it seems you succeeded in putting out the ball of fire for the moment. However, you're not sure because it's just nothing but hot sauna steam out there.
Okay. All right, that's my turn then, I guess.
Ko, back to you.
All right. Does it sound like if I approach the door, does it sound like I hear that stone door still lifting? Or has it come to a stop?
It would have come to a stop, but you would have heard it over the course of the previous round's actions.
Okay. I'm going to try and use the smoke to hide myself, or the steam to hide myself, and try and dart across the hall and get into where that door would be.
Okay. Roll up acrobatics.
Hey, I can do that. Well, it's better when the roll's better, but 11.
Just looking for hazards. You are familiar with this room enough, having spent some time in it. You go, as you would, trying to make your way to the bathroom at night, hands out through the steam, finding the wall, quickly shifting over to the side, and you feel the stone door open. Steam is pulled inside, so you're not sure what's actually in there at the moment.
All right, I'm gonna just feel around, see if I can get an idea of what's in there. Kind of blindly feel my way.
Cool. Over the course of your 6-second turn, you make it over through the door, feeling your way out, and you feel some cold iron. And feeling it's a bar that seems to go up. You feel some bars going down. Your hands go down. You start patting. You feel steps. Seems it's a spiral staircase that goes up, entirely of metal.
All right. That'll be my turn.
Cool. Grinkeeper.
Grinkeeper has the same idea, so she's going to use the smoke. She's going to hug the wall with her right hand, or left hand. Use her left hand to guide herself along the wall into the passage.
Cool. Roll in acrobatics.
A 9.
You get there without incident. You do get a little excited and open the wrong door and end up in the bedroom briefly for a moment, of which you exit and then find yourself at the stone door where you bump into the back of Ko.
No one has to know.
Nobody has to know. No one but you. Splunderbelt.
I do the exact same thing. I'll follow her.
Cool. Roll your acrobatics.
All right. Uh, 11.
You also make it there without incident, and you all find yourselves huddled, knocking over one another a bit, but Ko being forced onto the staircase as everybody has entered this small area.
I can't see anything.
There are stairs. They lead up. Let's see if we can make our way out of all this steam.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
start
do
to
it.
climb.
Yeah, same.
Feeling a bit wet from all the steam, but otherwise unscathed and unburned, you all head up. You head up the spiral metal staircase, and you head up for some time, eventually escaping that steam, which is still rising and making it a little humid and hot in here, a little Floridian. but ultimately you climb the spiral metal staircase and climb the length of the tower upwards. Allow me to reveal some more adventure. Ko, you were leading the way?
Yeah.
Cool. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place Ko and then Grinkeeper and Splendorbelt kind of off to the side to note how you are climbing the staircase behind them, but we are currently out in the void from the base where we first entered the rocky outcropping, the spire that the castle has been atop. You went up the 3 stories, you went up the length of that stone, you climbed up the spiral path that led you to the gatehouse, but you now find yourself 300 feet out above the water. You pass a window as you climb, and as you do, Ko, you note that the flame skull has flown back up, and you can see it circling the very top of the tower some 20 feet above you. But you enter, you climb the tower, and you find yourself deposited in a small room. This room has a table, and the table is filled with various bits of alchemy supplies. There's all the twists and turns of glass and condensers and steamers and Bunsen burner-like objects, flasks on the wall, tons of reagents, some of them bad with time, some of them are still appearing as though good in their jars. That is immediately in front of you. The staircase continues above you, and you can see that it leads to the top of the tower where the battlements would be, and you'd be exposed to open air. Right now you're in this small room at the top of the tower before taking that final floor up to be on top. However, the prominent feature in here seems to be a large dressing mirror, the kind that spins at the center, which you could grab on top and, smack Indiana Jones in the face with.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting in front of that is a large upholstered chair, the kind with those sunken buttons, you know what I mean? The big armchair and the back curving in those great big tops. The mirror lays in front of you, and it is across from the chair. If you look directly into the mirror, you would see what's sitting in the chair. However, I ask now, what do you do upon seeing this room?
Greenkeeper will go, be ready to knock me out, okay? I gotta see. It's just gonna go look.
Okay. To knock you out?
Yeah, she's an open welcome to take her down, knock her to 0 hit points if you have to.
All right.
She's already pretty beaten up from the fire damage, so it wouldn't be too hard.
As you speak in this room, your voice echoes around the small enclosure. This is a 15-foot by 15-foot top of the tower, so it's quite echoey being stone in here. And as you approach the chair, you hear a, "Yes, approach. You all have the stench of destiny about you."
Grinkeeper's gonna kind of get excited, but she's also really scared. She looks back at Splendorbelt and Co. And gets closer.
Who are we speaking to?
It is I, the saddest member of the household. Enzo Vanderbuck Withers, at your service. Come, step into the room. Let me gaze upon you. I have been alone for so long.
All right, I'll walk into the room.
Yeah.
As you enter the room, your body leads you around the chair, and you look in the mirror. In the back of the chair, reflected in the chair, you see a figure wearing fine velvets, a folded scarf tumbling over the top of his neck, the fine fabrics all ringing around his wrists, a sort of smoking jacket. On the ground, you see several empty vials. potion containers of some kind, and a skeletal hand lays limp over the edge. The skeleton is completely headless, but reflecting in the mirror where you see this figure, there is a fully skinned, ethereal face in the position where the head would be in the reflection. This face has a white beard with red hair that hasn't quite faded on the edges, looking a little less portly than your riding companion earlier today. The head, translucent of sorts by reflection, as it is not reflected in the actual skeleton, it missing its head, speaks again. Oh. Are you adventurers? Have you come to end my sorrow?
We're definitely adventurers. I don't know about ending anyone's sorrow.
I mean, I'm for ending sorrow whenever presented the opportunity.
Then you have come to defeat my lesser half. My foul abomination self, the Flame Skull. I shall tell you my story, but first I wish to hear yours. I have had naught but a flaming companion for some time. We talked for some 50 years, but our minds divided, eventually leaving me, my consciousness trapped in the mirror, and its maddening cackles and watts ringing out above the keep.
You say that it is the other half of you. This is your body, your skull that flies around this keep?
A botched necromantic experiment, I'm afraid. I studied as best I could. This place, this lake, is teeming with necrotic energies. However, in my inexperience, I failed to cast the immortality spell I suck, and found myself split, my skull taking leave of my body.
And what of the other denizens in the keep?
My spell was powerful enough to spread out to my servants. My family was carefully relocated before I tried such magics. And I assume they still exist to this day in some foreign land. But I have spoke much of myself. I wish now to be entertained by your story. Who are you who has come to slay me?
Well, we are the Darkest Delvers. We are new to this adventuring thing, but we have completed many quests and fought many Dark Mantles.
Dark mantles. So, the darkness still rises from beneath then. This is good.
How's that good?
It is of interest to me in my studies. The darkness has been quiet for too long. There's a hungering underground which pushes upwards. It was the main source of my studies here at this keep. But you continue to twist this conversation about me. You there. And the head gestures towards Splendorbelt. What is your story? Why do you bring the light of Palor to my residence?
I have two reasons. One, rid the world of the enemies of Palor, and number two, get paid more. So Palor and paid more.
A fine quip.
Two things. And if we clean this place out, I get money.
For hire, then. Are you for hire as well? One who spoke first?
Well, yes, we all are.
And you? Yes, you, in the back there. And he motions towards you, Ko.
I am simply here to do a job.
This job, these adventuring quests, why do you undertake them? If money is your goal, you could sell, you could craft. There are surely less dangerous professions than facing my visage.
Well, this affords opportunity for maybe more money quicker, or magical items, knowledge. You're not going to learn the ways of the world out in a shop.
Ah, so you seek more. I find this interesting. Tell me. I will keep your secrets. If you are here to defeat me, then my secrets die with me. What is it you seek beyond adventuring? Come now, I have been lonely for a long time.
For me, more adventure is good. So I do
Endless
this,
adventure.
and then I go and do more. Make more
No
money,
goals in mind.
more money, more fun, more Paylor happy.
More potatoes.
So
More potatoes.
No, Ko did not say that. That's John. He couldn't.
Okay. We'll take these backsies.
I might actually say that though.
I am looking for a very specific type of knowledge. Healing, specifically.
Healing. Healing that can't be conducted by your Pelorious friend here?
As of yet, any healers that I have called upon have not been able to assist in the way that I need.
Ah, most interesting. You there, young lady, who brandishes such large weaponry. What is it you seek?
I'm looking for someone.
A someone? A quest for a lost friend, perhaps? Or is it more than a friend? Come now. Entertain me before you face my worst half.
Nope. I'm just looking for someone.
A disappointing answer, but I will make do. I like you, though, there. You quest for power. You seek spells beyond your current casting. Could it be that you aid this cleric so he may grow? So he may be able to cast the spells that you seek?
Yes, it is a case of our victory is my own victory, of course. Stronger he is, the more he might be able to assist in other areas that I might need.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Well, you have answered my questions, and I appreciate it. This is the most entertainment I've had for some time. Now you may ask yours. Or shall I summon forth my skull and be done with it?
Ko will take back out the piece of paper he had just used and show him the symbols on it. Do you understand what these symbols mean?
Do you show him the piece of paper you took from his desk or the piece of paper from the ruins?
The piece of paper that Ko just transcribed all of it to. So it would show the complete one from the ruins, as well as the smaller one from his desk, as well as the code to get up here, because he scribbled it all on the same page.
Ah, so you two are familiar with what lays beneath the lake.
It
No.
is not something we are extremely familiar with. We came across this writing on our travels, and we have found other examples of it along the way.
And have you translated the writing in full?
Not in full. We know the symbol for this, and he shows the triangle, like the top part of a triangle. It's sky, and the circle is folk or people.
Likely the outcasts. Those that rose from the depths to take leave of the darkness and find the light. Most interesting.
Do you know what any of the others translate to?
I am aware of the bottom symbols and their combined meaning, though I will not speak it in the tongue of Old Elvish, for I fear I would awaken something so deep beneath the lake. It translates roughly to the Dawnless Dunes.
The Dawnless Dunes. And Ko will scribble that as well, next to where he has put the translations that he knows.
In my time, some 130 years ago, it was but a casual stirring. However, being trapped in this room with nothing but the reports of a screaming skull to entertain me, I have not known the advancements tell me what has risen from the darkness.
I mean, we have not seen very much. We have mostly seen Grix.
Grix.
Giant mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes, pests. However, the Grick is most interesting, for that is a predator, meaning its lands have been taken, that it's lost its home and it searches for more meat on the surface.
Do you know what is down there that would be driving these creatures upward?
The heart of the Dawnless Dunes has awoken. It pushes all evil out from it. Even the creatures of the darkness fear it. It will rise soon. I expect you will know what it's like within the year.
And this is an event you would welcome.
Very much so. A great opportunity for study had I still the body and eyes to partake in this particular event.
You mentioned something was under this castle? In the lake?
Everything is under the castle. A vast networks of tunnels, the Underdark itself, climaxing in that great abyss of the dark... the Dawnless Dunes.
A lot of D's.
Oh, yeah.
This campaign has a weird fascination with double D's.
Double D?
You got DD, Darkest Delvers, Dawnless Dunes.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Found a theme. Daredevil's gonna show up.
And didgeridoos.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I don't have any. Dirty donkeys. I don't know. I can't think of another one. Daring douchebags. Nope. Still not real.
There is one more thing I would like to ask you. You seem to have studied alchemy, medicine, life, death. Is that a fair assumption?
Absolutely. My fascination was with all these things, particularly death.
In your time, did you ever encounter an illness? Causes massive fatigue, inability to move, though still aware. Beyond simple healing. Restoration spells, cure wound spells. basic alchemy. None of it seems to have any effect. It's as if a person sometimes is there and it sometimes is not.
Who is this person?
Just a person I know.
Well, with such details, I can hardly make assumptions. However, they are likely afflicted with something beyond such means. Perhaps their lineage is tied to a certain place, or the health of the world itself.
Ko will just nod, stay quiet.
Is that it? Splendorbelt, you have anything?
I have nothing.
Grimkeeper will kind of see Ko going real quiet and sad and go, all right, I think we're ready.
Very well, then. Thank you for your time and conversation. I wish you luck in your journey. I await for you at the top of the staircase, at the top of the keep, at the top of the tower.
There were previous adventurers that came through here. Do you know what happened to them?
Oh, many have come over the 130 years it's been. We have little need for their supplies, their items, at this stage of our venture. I commanded them thrown in the lake upon their defeat.
Well, let's hope that is not the fate that awaits us.
I would very much appreciate if you end my suffering this day. I wish to be free and return to whatever coil awaits me in the beyond.
No
You don't-
problem.
No, wait, hold on. You don't mean to die. Why? You could, I don't know. Why die?
Because I have botched my experiment. I don't wish to be a flying skull any longer, capable of nothing but screams and whats. I wish to rest, cleric. I am very tired. However, as you can see, I'm not in a position to otherwise refute your opinions, and if you so desire to take this mirror from the keep, I would remain for a time.
Your descendant, Alexandra, did you ever know them? Is that beyond your time?
I had no knowledge of an Alexandra, but they may have been a great-great-grandchild.
They seem to be aware enough to tell us to avoid interacting with mirrors.
Fascinating. I may have extended my presence beyond this keep when available. Travelers passing with great pocket mirrors, makeup opportunities, even those staring in the lake I have met before.
All right, let's do this.
It's time.
You will find me up the stairs behind you.
Grinkeeper starts climbing.
Cool.
Right, Ko follows.
Are we good to see this through today?
How much
Probably
time?
looking at maybe 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, totally.
All right. So we proceed up the staircase. Let me do a little bit of clearing here. The spiral staircase takes us to the very top of the tower. We emerge. And how do you guys emerge? Do you emerge stealthily? Do you walk proudly. What's waiting us at the top? We'll do our normal marching order of Grinkeeper, Co, and Splendorbelt.
I would be trying to be stealthy again. I would want to be quiet.
Okay.
Let me roll one of those for you. Unless you want something else.
Stealth is perfect.
All right. All right, that's low. A 4, and my second roll, 17. I guess the 4 is
in case it's way worse.
Yeah. In case it's a 1. 4 is as good as you're gonna get.
Anybody else stealthing?
I mean, Ko's not trying to go loud. He's matching Grinkeeper's pace, though. So if Grinkeeper's moving slow, he's moving slow.
Grinkeeper?
Grinkeeper's kind of jogging up those steps, and she's got her shield out and her hammer ready.
All right.
Yeah, Ko's going bow drawn, arrow knocked, because he knows likely he's going to be shooting at a flying skull.
Cool. Then these will be the positions as you reach the top. So Splendorbelt attempts to be stealthy, but drags his face maces along the ground as he goes, exiting the metal staircase, which clang, clang, gung, 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 as it crosses the various stones. There is a battlements to this, though, so they're about 3 feet high at the base and 4 feet high when they reach those upper blocks. So both Co and Splendorbelt have emerged, still behind this cover, with the flame skull flying around the perimeter. However, Grinkeeper has walked right out into the open, and the flame skull turns its high beam flashlight eye sockets right towards you, and we begin combat. Co, you're up first.
All right, so Ko has a bead on it.
Yes, you would be able to see it there through the battlements.
Okay, but I am blocking the stairway, so Splendorbelt could not get up if I didn't continue further up, right?
Right, he is currently running his face maces along the staircase behind you.
Face mace across the staircase. Let's make room for him. We'll scoot that way to take as much cover as possible and fire an arrow at the skull.
All right, let it rip.
From my short bow. An 11.
The arrow shoots wide. It is a tiny skull, just a skull out there, some 30 feet, and you miss.
All right, let the missing begin. Let's do this.
Next up, Grinkeeper.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to do more?
No, I was just going to say that's my turn.
Okay.
Okay. Here's what she's gonna do. Grinkeeper's gonna go ta and jog up to the skull, shield up, hammer out. She's going to, as she's running, cast Channel Divinity Sacred Weapon to add +2 to her attack rolls, and her weapon's going to start emitting bright light as she goes towards it. And then that'll be her action, and her bonus action, she casts Compelled Duel.
Okay, cool. So you are at the top of this keep tower, so you can't approach fully to the skull because it's flying out the side some 30 feet away from you.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
But you can still run to the edge by Co here, blocking Splendorbelt coming up the stairs, but it would allow you to be in that position should it come by the edge, or at the very... You're still going to cast this Compelled Duel spell.
Yeah.
Cool. So you have prepared... Is it your hammer you're enchanting with your sacredness?
Yes.
Okay. And then you're going to do Compelled Duel. All right, I think I only roll once we've already... When I try to do something that's not attacking you or moving away from you. Cool. Sounds good. All right, Splendorbelt. You are sort of standing in the top of the staircase without room to enter the top of the tower unless you sort of scurry over the edge.
What kind of view do I have on our problem?
So if you stand fully straight up, you can see through the hole in the battlements between the various edges. You can see that flame skull flying out.
Okay.
about 30 feet away from you.
All right, as an act of protection, I'm going to once again create 10 gallons of water in a 35-foot radius of rain around us to basically create a protector. It will, let's see. Let me make sure I want to do it that way. Yeah, I do want to do it that way. And I'm going to use this at level 1. There it is. Okay. So I will do that, and I'll basically center it around us so that there's, if that thing tries to fire anything in there that's flame related or tries to come in there itself, hopefully this water will help deter him.
Very cool. Awesome, and that'll just last. It doesn't have a duration, so this is just lasting for the round.
It's for the round, correct?
Excellent. All right. And are you currently staying behind the wall, or did you stand up in full?
I'll stay behind the wall for this. I don't need to get up to even see him because I just need to be able to put it around us. So I've basically just created a big bubble of rain, a rain barrier.
Excellent. I will fire at Grinkeeper. She's the only one not in cover. Both eyeballs light up, and fire rays fire out from them at a 30-foot range, so I do have to approach slightly. $15 and a 14.
Miss.
Then we return to Ko.
Alright, I don't have to move this time, so I am going to use my steady aim ability, which costs my bonus action and gives me advantage on my next attack roll as long as I haven't moved and don't intend to move. So I am going to fire with advantage my short bow, with the best being a 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay, that is going to be 4 piercing damage from the arrow, and because it is a sneak attack, because of an attack with advantage, an additional 6 sneak attack damage.
Which would also be piercing for this attack.
Yes, it would.
Cool. All right, I have taken damage. They sort of clunk on the skull, kink, kink, but it appears that the bone is rather impervious to the piercing damage type, or at least resilient to it. Grinkeeper.
All right, Grinkeeper's gonna take out a javelin. I'm just gonna chuck it.
All right, you chuck a javelin. As a reaction, the Flame Skull casts Shield, increasing its AC by 5. A magical shield appears around it, sort of warping the flames that pass through the sphere it's sitting in. But make your attack.
22?
That's a hit.
$13 damage.
It says javelin damage? What kind of damage is javelin damage?
I believe it's piercing, but let me double check.
Javelin damage.
All right. Of all the damage types,
Yeah,
javelin damage is the one I fear the most.
that's right. Big sticks.
Cool.
Piercing.
You hit as well. It also kind of kinks the skull and it. Ah! What? That would take us on to Splendor Belt.
Okay. I'm now going to stand up and test a little something here.
Okay.
So I will stand up and I will, let's see, 60 feet. I'm going to cast Sacred Flame, a cantrip, to see if it has any effect on this thing. 60-foot radius, needs to make a Dex 12 save.
Okay. I got a 9.
You missed, so I hit, rather. And let's see, damage. 7 points of damage.
Excellent. As it is called Sacred Flame, it's actually radiant damage. So you deal in full, hitting the undead with a pile of fire descending from the heavens. It hits for full damage, and the skull seems a bit shocked, or at least you think that's its expression.
Nice. I will duck back down. Just to sort of keep some semblance of... I mean, I guess I kind of have cover if I stay down, right?
Yeah.
For my movement?
Yeah,
I'll just... It's not really movement, but I'll duck down as my final thing to do for my turn.
Perfect. My turn hits, and my shield phases out. The skull moves into melee range on Grinkeeper. And as it flies towards you, it casts yet another spell. This one seems to shift reality beyond it as though it's moving really fast, back and forth and back and forth. The skull is blurred in midair, causing you to have disadvantage on attack rolls against it. So if you have advantage plus disadvantage, that'd just be a normal roll. But the skull seems to be getting in position for some sort of attack on the tower itself. Ko.
All right, let's switch it up. Ko is gonna go from using the bow to pulling out his psychic blade, the hilt, and flares it to life with the fire. And once again, because I'm not moving, I'm going to use my whatever it's called, the aimed steady aim, to give myself advantage and have a straight attack with it.
Cool. So cancels out for a normal roll.
And that is a 18 to hit.
That's a hit.
That is 6 points of psychic damage, and with the sneak attack, an additional 7 points of psychic damage from that.
Very cool. So you basically stab its brain with brain waves. Naturally, it screams, unliking the assault. And
does it scream a certain word?
A certain word.
What? Okay.
Perhaps some sort of surprise it experienced.
Yeah, the blade strikes cleanly through it, leaves no mark, but makes the skull yell what?
Grinkeeper.
Okay, so it's just blurred in front of me?
Yes. Kind of shifting back and forth with great speed. Some sort of illusion spell, perhaps. Maybe if you were knowledgeable in arcane, you'd be able to know more about the spell.
Okay, she doesn't care about that, so she's gonna take her hammer and try to hit it downward on the skull.
Give it a knock.
And then I rolled 2, correct? It's still disadvantage?
Yeah, disadvantage.
It was the same, an 11.
That is a miss. I did succeed in my concentration, by the way, for hitting me. That's a miss. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
She's gonna stand there and she's gonna start yelling at it.
Excellent. Splendor
to keep
Bell.
its attention.
Okay. I'm gonna create a spiritual weapon. It's my first time using this, so give me 1 second.
Oh, sick.
Very nice.
Create a floating spectral weapon within range that lasts for the duration or until you cast a spell again. The duration is 1 minute. When you cast a spell, you can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. Okay, so I can cast this up to 60 feet away from me. Is this basically like your blade, John? Is this the same spell?
Yeah, it's basically magical diplomacy.
Okay. All right, I'm going to do that. So there's a thing, and I'm going to have it 5 feet away from him so I can strike. Can I strike and summon in the same turn?
It's a bonus action to summon it, so yes, you would use
there it
action
is.
following.
Okay, you're right. Okay, so let me do hit here. Hold on.
With disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage, eh? Okay. 12. Sorry, it says 28, but there's a 16 and a 12. And...
Oh, I see. It added the 2 together.
Yeah.
You do hit.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Okay. In that case, I I gotta cast it, so I use a slot. All right, let's go ahead and do. And then hold on. So it's a 6. I got a +4. Oh no, that's +4 to hit. Doesn't matter. Sorry. Ignore the 6. No, use the 6. Sorry, 6 points of damage. Ignore the 3.
Okay.
I'm pushing
Force
buttons I
damage.
shouldn't.
So your blade of force, like a Cyclops eye laser, basically,
Yeah,
hits the skull for 6 points of damage.
correct.
All right. Anything else?
I'll duck down again.
Cool. And I need to roll concentration. I succeed. So the blur continues. But I will break it in order to cast Flaming Sphere, which I locate right in the middle of the tower here, attacking all of you. Everybody make dexterity saving throws.
I'm assuming this is a magical effect that I will have advantage against, or a spell.
It is magic.
It says advantage against spells and other magical effects.
Yeah, if that's what it says, yeah. You have advantage.
18.
12.
Hold on, before I do that, how long does my rain last?
It lasted 1 round, so the rains have stopped.
Okay, that's what I thought. It doesn't
But
say.
the flaming eye shots I fired, which missed during that time, would have been reduced.
Right. Okay. Sorry, dexterity you said, right?
Yep.
A 2 minus 1, 1. I got 1.
All right.
Very
Splendor Belt
dexterous.
takes 7 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Ko takes 7 points of fire. Wait, you have advantage. So you take
Yeah, I
3.
saved.
Yep, 3 points of fire damage. And Grinkeeper does not dodge. So 7 points of fire damage. And that ends my turn. We go back to Ko.
All right, same thing as before. Psychic Blade Strike.
Okay.
13 to hit.
Is a hit. How do you
That is-
psychically destroy this skull with but 2 hit points left in it?
Oh, geez. Well, we really overkilled it then. So when it lunges to cast its spell, I imagine it has some sort of flourish. Ko just stabs the blade straight out into it, and it just goes into the skull, and it lifelessly falls through the blade, again, leaving no mark or damage visible to it.
Cool. So you stab the psychic blade into it, and as though that melts and scrambles what's left inside, out of the nose holes, the back of the mouth area, the ears, black ichor ooze pours out and empties as the skull slowly starts to lose its buoyancy of a sort. Make a sleight of hand, Ko.
I was about to ask to catch it.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try and catch it. 16.
You manage to catch the skull before it falls down the side of the keep, and you now have the flame skull's remains in your hands.
Awesome.
The flames, of course, have gone out. The eyes have gone dim, and there's little tiny just hints of embers in those gems in the eyes.
Well, we got it, and we need to pour the holy water on it. Was it the entire body? Do we need to take it down to the body, or just the skull?
Just the skull, it sounded like. And our Grinkeeper starts pulling out the holy water vial she has.
Cool. You've got 2 of them, and you got the skull in Ko's hands. What do you do?
Set it down on the keep.
Cool. Grinkeeper will wait. And then when she gets the okay, she'll take 1 jar and douse the skull in it.
All right. As you douse it, the gems with their weight kind of fall through the skull as it cracks and crumbles, basically turning into ash like paper. And the whole thing eventually leaving the water from Slender Belt's rain kind of carrying away these bits of ash over the edge and to the edges of the keep tower. remains just those 2 orange gems that made up its eyes. They might be valuable.
Well, let's gather those up.
Get those up, sure.
Ko, you would know from your experience with fine craftsmanship and other sorts of luxuries that these are garnets of a sort.
Awesome. We will bag 2 of those.
All right, well, now we come to the end of the adventure. You have defeated the Flame Skull. However, you descend down back into the keep, passing through this sort of laboratory lounge area, where the face is still in the mirror, but seems to have faded rather considerably. Its eyes are closed, and for what it's worth of a floating head, it appears to be breathing in and out deeply.
Ugh. Gross.
Rest in peace.
Grinkeeper says as she descends further down, leaving the mirror alone.
Yeah. We ignore it. Move past it.
Yeah.
Cool. You all make your way down through the keep. As you enter, or as you exit the tower staircase, you see the poor carpenter skeleton has been completely dismantled. He is on the ground, spread out, his tools fallen from his hands, lifeless, inactive. As you exit the keep, you find a pot of water has tumbled down the staircase, and the cook has lost his hat, his bones also laying on the staircase. There's no more banging on the door with Ko's dagger.
I retrieve the dagger.
You exit, you make your way out. It is about 7:30 at night. You completed the quest with great gusto and speed. You head to the guest house where Aegis and Alexandre Vanderbuck Withers await you, and you receive a ride back into town. Over the next several days, the damages are calculated, but you were still paid the sum of some 400 bonus gold on top of the mission you had already received.
Oh.
You give word to Cassius about the fate of the adventurers seemingly thrown in the lake, having failed their quest, and he makes a mark in his notebook. Otherwise, we come to the end of today's adventure, and we will do the XP offline.
Nice. We have gained experience. I don't think we've gained a level, though. It's not enough, I don't think.
I don't know.
We'll find out. Yeah,
We'll see.
maybe it is.
We had a
all
week
right.
of adventuring.
Well, we'll pick it up next time. Like we said, no show next week. A lot of stuff going on. Taking that one off, but we'll be back the following Saturday at our new time. Again, Saturdays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. You probably could have figured that math out on your own, but that's when we do it live. If you'd still rather just get the podcast, that's certainly an option and will happen a day earlier for everybody. So for you just get a show sooner than you thought. That's going to do it for us. Thank you all for listening. Reminder, if you like what you hear on this show and you want to hear more of it, maybe head on over to where we can do something about that over at therewillbedungeons.com. If you do that, then you'll be not only a supporter of our Instance Plus program, but get rad stuff in the mail and even bonus content you can't get any other way. So check that out. That's at therewillbedungeons.com. And send us your emails. therewillbedungeons@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And There Be Dungeons on Twitter. That's going to do it for us. For me, for Kyle, for Kristen, and for John. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Well, whoops. Well done, everyone.
Well done.
Well muted. That was great. Enjoyed it. Chat room, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Get the word out. Tell your friends. And let them know about our new date, will you? Because I was terrible about informing everybody other than what we mentioned on the show last week. But just get everybody used to the new time. Next time we speak, John will be a dad. It's pretty intense, man.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a weird
Intense.
thought.
Yeah, it is a very weird thought. All right, chat room, I'm going to end the stream. Thanks for watching and listening. Come check out all the other stuff we got going on next week. Going to be a busy, busy week. It's public now, but I'll be hosting or moderating, I shouldn't say hosting, moderating the WoW Q&A panel next week on Saturday. That'll be the first thing of the day for that day of BlizzCon line. So if you are interested in checking that out, please do. Did it back in 2018. Now I get to do it virtually. So come see it. I think that's everything. We'll see you guys soon. Bye now. All right.